PlayStation exclusive.
Shit.
Alrighty.
See, that looks a little loud. Let me go ahead and bring that down. Hopefully the stream can hear you. Here, do that.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna share it around real quick. I'm like a virus.
Alright.
Okay.
You're all good, dude.
Let me
go ahead and ping. I think actually go ahead and ping the server. If I can actually like get the stream URL.
I think they can hear us, by the way.
Yeah, they should be able to. Yeah, you were clipping on my on OBS though, so I'm just making sure you're good.
Okay.
So
OBS is fine.
Here,
okay,
actually,
share this now.
Actually, I got my phone right in front of me. Let me go ahead and just share it that way.
All right.
Hopefully people are starting to enter chat. Just go ahead and move this over here. Let's see, no viewers right now, but hopefully they'll change.
Yes. I'm going to every corner of the internet.
YouTube. Alright. Or whenever people start joining, hopefully that's soon. Harman Smith reaction.
Yeah. He's my favorite.
Probably, honestly,
probably
my favorite, like, lolcow channel, too. The dude is just unhinged.
That's an understatement. No, the best lolcow is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christian.
Oh, Jesus.
He's a very innocent man. I don't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, don't you know? I'm just bullying him for the sake of bullying him, nothing else.
Yeah, you're just a meanie. Sonic Shoe is peak.
It's peak, right? Like, I'm just being a dick, like, obviously.
Yeah.
He totally didn't rape his mom. What are you fucking talking about?
Yeah, he didn't do that. Yeah.
Definitely not.
It's what did he say? It was the media or whatever. I don't know what he said.
I don't know what he said either.
He said something like, "Oh, it's all of you guys." And I didn't do that.
Yeah, I control my own narrative, not you lot of haters and fakers.
The haters.
I mean, realistically, when he said that, honestly, it just sounded like he was pinning the blame on his trolls. That's what it sounded like to me.
They made me do it.
Yeah, he was like, they made me do it. They made me. The trolls, they made me do it. God.
Evidence, Christian? Evidence? Trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. Trust me.
I know what I know what I'm talking about.
Wait, this Harman's video is 58 minutes long. It's almost an hour.
Oh my!
Holy shit!
Don't worry.
Holy shit!
I made it through a 48-minute video without wanting to jump off a bridge. So I think we can do this.
Oh yeah, no, we got this. We got this for sure. We got this.
This is gonna take 5 hours.
Not even 5. It'll take less than that for sure. Do you wanna go ahead and start it?
Smith, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's
see. I'm
almost done.
Okay, yeah.
I'm like tempted. I'm so tempted to put it in his server right now.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, don't do that. I mean, well, I mean, like, imagine if I got beef with Harman. Server. Imagine if I did get beef with Harman Smith though. Like,
that'd be fire.
That would honestly be really funny. What's up, Toon? How you doing?
Yeah, I see. In our crusade against Harman Smith.
Yeah, the crusade, so to speak.
The crusade. we are inquisitors, and we're here to take him out.
I don't know a whole lot about Harman Smith. I know people have been making videos about him for a while, but all I can say is that he's he's got some takes. I'll just say that he's got some takes. So honestly, I'm really.
I can. Don't worry, bro. I'll break it down for you. Okay.
All right.
Trust. So, the lore of Harman Smith runs deep within my family. So basically, he's a guy who is a Nintendo fanboy. He actually is a author.
An
Obviously.
author? He writes?
Yes, yes.
I didn't know he actually like writes books and shit.
Okay. Writing is a bit of stretch.
Right.
But he definitely writes sometimes. Sometimes he uses AI because he's lazy. But yeah, he does write. I would like to get my hands on one of his books because that sounds like the greatest thing ever.
Right.
And he used to be fit. Fun fact, he actually got second place in there was a tennis tournament and he got second place.
Oh God.
So he actually used to be very fit.
He used to be fit. Yeah. That's surprising. That is surprising to me.
Yeah, I know, right? And then Nintendo. Well, he was always a Nintendo fanboy from what I heard. I did see a picture of him when he was thinner, and it called him a Nintendo fanboy. So I think he was a Nintendo fanboy for like all his life.
Gotcha.
And then YouTube, and I guess YouTube killed him.
I guess.
He's like, wait a minute. I could just sit here, make low effort videos, and get money. So then that's what happened.
But he has over
Nintendo.
And he has over 1,000 subs, so I guess it's working.
Yeah.
But like
this is.
But like the thing is, I mean, like, and for the record, I want to say that like none of us here think Nintendo makes bad games at all. Like Nintendo obviously makes pretty good games. It's just that like when he shills as hard for them as he does, it's just overall really fucking cringe. It's just cringe is what it is.
He's a major shill. I mean I have a stream about that, but like he's like to the extreme to where it's like so bad. It's gotten to the point where even games that are on Nintendo Switch he still hates because it's not Nintendo.
Yeah.
You know, like we saw in our top however many worst games of 2023. He put like Hogwarts Legacy, Octopath Traveler 2 on there. He put those games on there. They're on the Switch, but he hates them because they're not Nintendo.
Well, the guy's life could be worse. He could be Movie Bob.
Huh. Oh yeah.
Hey
Movie
yo.
Bob.
What's up?
He's legendary.
What's up, Alan? How you doing?
Yeah. Alan's a W. He's making a game right now, a Sonic fan game.
Oh hell yeah!
And I may or may not be voice acting in it.
Oh, well, I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah, that's gonna be fire.
All right. Yeah. Also, can't forget about Baldur's Gate 3 at the Luigi's.
Yeah. A surprise turnout from this award show, yes, but not many of us were expecting it. Actually, everyone who watches Harman Smith knows that he hates that game.
Well, he hates anything that isn't on Nintendo, made by Nintendo, so...
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, okay, he put, what's it called? What's that one game? Pikmin 4. He put Pikmin 4 on there. A, it had the shortest segment. B, he only did it because his arch rival, Arlo the Muppet, it's one of his favorite games. So, like... And he also put it on there just so that, hey guys, look, guys. I'm not a Nintendo fanboy. See, look, I put a Nintendo game on there. Trust.
Mm-hmm. Yo, Webbs, who's your friend? Who are you referring to, me or Toon? Talking to Alan.
Who are my friends?
Yeah, that's what Alan said in chat.
My friend is Jakey. He's my best friend.
Sub because yes. Thank you for the sub, Alan. I appreciate it.
W.
Hola. What's up, Em? Dude, this this video, I'm expecting it to honestly, I'm expecting to see some fucking bangers here. Oh, me?
Yeah, some
yeah,
W.
it's me. I'm just a random.
Actually, someone.
I'm a random dude on the internet. That's it.
Yeah.
Tune's here too. Yeah, Tune's here. Unless he left, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Tune
It
is a
said.
W. So like,
So.
So there's someone on. Let me turn off my volume so I don't hear my voice in my ear. There's someone on the server who informed me about this video. He.
Did we lose you? Hello? Webs? Oh no, my fucking... No, it didn't. Okay. Hold on, what happened? I can't hear Webs anymore. Oh, maybe I'll just, let me go ahead and disconnect and then join back. Hello?
Okay.
Hello? Can you... Okay.
Let's do this.
Okay, you're working again. Good. For some reason, I couldn't hear you for a minute, but now it's working again.
Hold on. What the goofy is going on here?
A lot.
Okay, that was weird. I turned you all the way down.
Oh, you did? Oh, shit. I cannot hear the audio. Uh-oh. M says he can't hear anything.
Okay.
Let's see, it's picking up in OBS. My mic is being picked up. Your mic is being picked up in OBS.
Alright.
But I guess it's just my problem. You're coming through on Discord fine for me. I don't know. I don't know, dude. Honestly, okay, well, to get back on track, I'm expecting his list to actually be full of bangers, actually. Maybe not all of them are gonna be. I'm expecting a few of them to be some shit that nobody's ever really heard of or cares about. Because, I mean, everybody has, like, that very niche game that nobody's ever heard of or played that they really, really love. But I'm expecting to see some bangers in here.
Yeah, I bet Starfield's on here.
Oh God.
Yeah, Starfield's on here. Yeah, W. And
for you maybe.
I'm thinking of making a top 10 games video.
I thought about doing that at one point. I thought about doing that at one point too, but I haven't. Oh, yeah. I just haven't gotten around to it because it's hard for me. It's hard for me to pick.
Here's my. Okay, I'll let you go first.
I was just gonna say, it's very hard for me to pick a top 10 list just because I played so many amazing games. I just don't know if I can get 10 in there.
Of course, like Dolan and Redfall and King Kong. Yeah, those would be my top 10 billion games of all time. But okay. So here's my crystal ball. I think I know what he's gonna say. All right. Mm-hmm. So the first game. So of course, we got the hit banger. So this is games of all time. This isn't games of this year. Yeah. So we all know the GOAT. Baldur's Gate 3 will be on there. And Armored Core 6, and of course Elden Ring.
Oh yeah, because it's made by FromSoft, you know it.
Yeah, all the Souls games, of course. Let me see. Every Bethesda game released. Oh, because he loves Western RPGs. Obsidian, all the Western RPGs. Okay. He told me those are his favorites.
Yeah.
And of course, all the PlayStation games, because he loves those. And yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well,
I think. Oh, and Sonic. We can't forget about Sonic.
Yeah. You also can't forget about Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah.
Cannot forget about that.
That's the greatest game of all time.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Okay.
Don't joke about that game. That game is the best game ever made of all time. It's the game.
It is.
Red Dead 2.
Webb's told me some good things about Starfoogle. It looks like fun. I won't lie. Actually, I do want to try Starfield out for myself because I don't want to be that guy that'd be like, oh yeah, the game sucks. It looks like trash. Even though I haven't played it myself.
Bro,
I haven't played it myself, so I can't judge it. Say it again.
You know who I hate more than like Starfield like is the worst game ever made? It's the Starfield is game of the generation people, bro. Those are the most
Oh
annoying
yeah.
people.
Yeah, I mean they hyped it up to
Who's
like
saying that?
fucking oblivion
Yeah,
is
there's
what they did.
there's overhyping people, and yeah, those people are like annoying.
Yeah.
They make people like me look like idiots. You know, people aren't, bro. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. I was told, no joke, that because I said, "Oh, I like Starfield," and then someone said, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess if you like sucking off Todd Howard, then good for you, I guess." I'm
Oh
like,
my
bro,
god.
calm down.
Bruh, yeah. Bruh,
I mean,
calm down.
okay, we all love sucking off Todd Howard. Well, okay, we all love
Dude,
eating Todd Howard's. Okay, let's.
he's the guy who made Skyrim. You can't just not suck him off, you know.
Yeah, you know what he did? I'm like, dude, did Todd Howard like do your mom and then give her a copy of Skyrim, bro?
Chris Chan style?
Afterwards?
Chris Chan style?
Yeah, that's what he did. That's what he did to this guy's mom.
Jesus. Okay, well, it looks like we got people in chat now. We want to go ahead and get into the video.
I bet.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do this.
It's been a long time coming. I've been playing hundreds, if not thousands.
Here, let me go ahead and open my volume mixer.
Perhaps some of the most experience
It's maxed out. Oh, let me go ahead and just do this.
Out of anybody on YouTube, anyone in the sphere, anyone out there. So this is, in a way, kind of a list, a very well-created list of.
This is a mistake.
You know, my personal favorites, and I suppose I was kind of surprised when I looked at this list, when I kind of finalized it, kind of realized just how much variety there is here, how much like tools from different developers.
Fat cap on that. Fat cap. That there's a bunch of variety.
Oh yeah.
I am
variety in Nintendo games.
a variety of Nintendo titles maybe, but like not variety in like genres or anything.
Oh yeah, the platforming and
open world games.
Well,
Yeah.
they don't have like two open world games, and those are from the same franchise.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like RPG, action, adventure, and platforming.
Play a lot of stuff, and I was kind of shocked at like.
That's how it is.
I was sure Metal Gear Solid 3 would be one of those. I thought that like Bad Title Origins would be
Does he ever bother to like bump up his audio? Because it seems quiet on my end. It could just be my.
No,
in a lot of ways.
he's always quiet. It was quiet on my stream as well.
Okay, then I guess there's nothing I can really do about it.
I would say put on captions.
I can do that if YouTube captions are even good.
They were pretty good when I did it.
But in a lot of ways, I think these top 10 are never really going to be topped for me personally. And maybe I'll be wrong on that. Maybe I'll make an updated list eventually when I like revisit some older game that I kind of forgot about how good it actually was.
It looks like your average Redditor.
He honestly does.
No joke. I was grinding Reddit videos before this,
Like, there are so many great games out there that
so I know how your average
Honestly,
Redditor.
Yeah, I mean, also, to be completely honest, his video could have been so much shorter if he didn't do all this pointless rambling.
Yeah, that's how he
Which
does
I
it.
mean, like, I get like being passionate about your favorite games and wanting people to experience them, but like, you don't need to ramble on this much, and for your video to turn out into 58 minutes. He's probably gonna go on because he has such a hate boner for like Arlo and like fucking FromSoft. He's probably gonna go on some sort of tangent here.
He will. Yeah, that's a Harman Smith certified hit classic. He's yeah.
He's a character.
He's yeah. He's some.
I found a jar.
I know. I can see that.
Do you see it?
Yes, I see it. I'm trying to.
In my opinion,
Oh, that's
Hi,
scary.
Wes.
Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations is
Ace Attorney
the peak
Trials
of
and
visual
Tribulations.
novel
He said so.
in video
It's me,
games.
Jill.
I
Okay.
can't
Yeah,
think
we
of
did put
any
that.
game that
Yeah.
I'm
has
surprised.
managed to create such memorable
So he
characters,
gets a lot of
such
ads.
engaging mechanics, and such
Okay.
unique, interesting concept. More than its contemporaries, I think Ace Attorney has kind of established itself as a really great fringe franchise. You know, like, instead of hunting down enemies or going on like a quest for vengeance,
Such
you're playing
memorable characters. Good gosh, I can't speak. Which I found a bad pick though. I'm not gonna lie. Ace Attorney.
Ace Attorney.
I played it once.
I
It was a little easy, but
okay. I have not. I
I'm a
actually.
detective. Okay,
I
I'm
myself.
Batman in real life.
Okay, I myself haven't played Ace Attorney, so I don't really have an opinion on it, but I don't know. I just don't really know what to say. I don't have an opinion on Ace Attorney. I mean, like, it seems like it's like a simple enough game, one you could just sit down and chill and enjoy if you're bored or something.
Yeah,
But like,
played on the DS though,
yeah,
or your phone.
it's
Like,
yeah, it's
I wouldn't
also
play it
it's
on
a
PC.
yeah, it's a it's
Detective game.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's a detective game. It's also has like it's also in like
visual
the
novel.
yeah, it's like a visual novel. So I mean, like, you're really only, it's not really even a game. It's basically just a story
Yeah.
that you experience. So I wouldn't really consider it a video. I mean, it is technically a video game, I guess, but like, I don't see enough of like a game aspect for it to really be, you know, one of the all-time best, I guess. But like,
Best game,
yeah, one of the top 10 best games ever. I just don't see that. But I mean, to each their own. I'm sure it's not a bad game by any means, but like, I just don't see it personally. Let's see what else he
Yeah, that's what I say.
Let's see what else he has to say though.
Involved in
I
these
wouldn't
criminal
put it.
cases.
Yeah,
And
I wouldn't put it on my
never
list, though.
fails
Me neither.
to innovate, do something new, and feel fresh and original. But
Like, it
Trials and
wasn't the worst game to
Tribulations,
play,
more
but
than any other game in the
it's fine.
franchise, really pushes the concept to the limit, right?
Okay.
The entire game feels like one overarching, fantastic saga that builds up to an amazing conclusion that honestly was
Innovation.
built up.
When I think of innovation, I think of a visual novel detective game.
Yeah, I don't really think of like innovation on that. But was it Alan? You said you tried playing Ace Attorney once, but it was difficult. Can you like elaborate what makes it difficult? Like, is there like are there actual like internal?
Probably.
You can probably explain it. So what are like internal mechanics make it so that it's actually relatively difficult?
Well, okay, so you're solving cases, right? And it's so imagine being a lawyer, and that's the game. But like literally, you're being a lawyer. Like, it doesn't hold your hand at all.
Okay.
You have to like help your client and stuff, and find out clues and all that jazz. So like, if you're not a good lawyer in real life, then it's gonna be hard, I think.
Oh yeah, okay. So if you're not very knowledgeable in law or stuff like that, then it'll be
stuff like that.
Okay,
you know,
so it's
loopholes.
very so in terms of like courtroom law, it's actually realistic in that sense.
Yeah,
Because there's
so.
okay,
I
so
did play.
okay, so basically, okay, I gotcha. So if it's realistic
find
and there's a
out
bunch of
loopholes
like
and, like, the-
terminology and stuff and like different stuff that you may not know, because I mean I'm no lawyer, so like there's probably stuff in there that I wouldn't know, so I'd probably. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
think it's not like crazy hard to understand. I think it's like a basic lawyer simulator. I think it's a little more basic than like, you know, actual law terminology, but also like you have to find holes in the prosecutor's story and like get
Right, so
evidence.
you
and
actually-
you have to like pay attention.
Okay, so some stuff, so you do have to pay attention and like examine it and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So similar
it is
to
not
like an actual.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Similar
not.
to like an actual
It is.
lawyer.
Okay, so Toon said it's not realistic. Well, I didn't mean like super realistic, but I mean like if it like
It's
if it's
funny.
I mean like if it's like, you know, like confusing and actually like makes you think, then that's what I mean by
yeah, it makes you
realistic.
think.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else he has to say.
Well over a series of 3 games, right? it is an experience. And I do think it's the kind of game that can appeal to people of all ages. You know, I
Harman
played this when I
Smith.
was fairly young.
What did he
I
say?
think
He said, I
most
keep seeing
fans
a
were in
lot
their
of people insist it's not happening, but I think it must be. Oh, he's talking about some stupid thing. I don't care.
So it can
Oh,
appeal to
politics, lovely.
it can appeal to people of all ages. He played it when he was fairly young, which I mean, you know, fair.
20s when it
How
first came out. And even today, I still see people look back on this title fondly as one of the best games on the DS. And for me personally, I can't think of any other
Hmm.
DS game
He must
that
be a
I played
genius.
when it was new that blew me away like this one. This was the one that really made me feel as if video games were truly a great method
It
for
was one of the
storytelling.
best games on the DS in all
so
fairness.
so did this dude never play what was it? New Super Mario Bros. 2 or whatever on
Oh, what game are you on?
on the DS on the 3DS?
Oh, yeah,
Like
the game. I have
that
not
Mario.
played that one yet.
I mean, and I think that was like, I mean, like, well, no, it's a stereotypical Mario story, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
I think that was like a good method for storytelling on the DS. And I mean, like, DS games were never like super, I mean, amazing or anything. People mostly bought it for the console,
Yeah.
and most of the games that got ported over to the DS, they had like different versions of.
good.
So like,
I
yeah,
love playing the different versions and seeing the differences.
yeah. I mean,
Or
I
how
play. I
close they
also.
can get to the console version.
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie. I mostly played Lego Batman on the Wii, but I also had the DS version, and the differences were night and
Yeah, the
day.
DS version
Like,
was fire.
it was differences were night and day though. I also had like the Transformers
was-
games, but even then, during
It's still-
at those
yeah.
times, I didn't really care about story playing on the DS. I don't think anybody really did. They just
Yeah.
cared about the game itself.
Until you played Dark Souls. No, I'm
Yeah,
joking.
but
Then I played Dark Souls and I was like, oh, story's everything now.
Dark Souls on a DS. Dark Souls on a DS would
Bro,
sound
that
like a
was kinda
fucking
fire.
nightmare. It sounds like a nightmare. But I mean, like,
I mean,
like-
a game like Dark Souls.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
gonna look that
I
up
guess I
later.
can see his approach here because I mean, like I just described, I don't think anyone really cares about storytelling when it came to DS games. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, if they were actually to do it in a pretty compelling way with this one, then props. But
Yeah.
I don't see how
would think it
but
was.
I don't see how that could be like a top 10 contender for all video games ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Cuz you're pretty much just pressing a button
you
the
know-
entire time.
Did you know that there's actually a Skyrim-like game on the DS, an RPG
There
that's
is?
3D
Oh.
of Skyrim? Yeah, so seconds of it, and then I was like, it's cool and all, but like, I didn't really want to like play it at that
Yeah.
moment. I might go back and play it again, but at that moment I was like, this is cool, but I have other things to play.
Yeah. Like
Also, I started the DS
it's
thing.
not going to beat the official Skyrim.
Yeah, but it was cool though. It was actually very impressive.
This is the series that really taught me how important it is to have engaging original characters. You know, this is the game that really made me realize that you can do quite a lot with quite a low budget. These games are very, very inexpensive to make. When you compare this to something like L.A. Noire, right, a game that was significantly more popular, that was significantly higher budget, like you can see the difference in quality, right? Ace Attorney manages to be way more memorable, way more engaging, have way better mysteries, have way more personality, and on a
I would argue the mysteries and the stuff like that is not the main point of LA Noire. The main point is to just like the main point is to solve cases as a detective in the 40s. The whole setting is what makes it cool.
He compared
An open world detective game to like a dating sim. It's not even the same kind of game.
Yeah.
It would be fair if he
yeah.
compared this
You're not
game
being
to
a
like
lawyer.
Exactly. It would be fair if he compared it to like Doki Doki Literature Club or something like that. But like, dude, this is not even the same. See here. I like storytelling games, but there's a fine balance. You either have barely any story in your game or just turns into a movie with a crap ton of cutscenes. I mean, I wouldn't say entirely. I think there's a good balance between them. Like you have games like The Last of Us, you have games like Detroit Become Human. You have
Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, and then you have you have games like what's one that's like has a very clear story but has like actually kind of fun gameplay? Skyrim, Fallout.
Yeah. Well, okay. RPGs are a little different.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, it still like has a clear story and kind of fun gameplay.
Yeah.
It's nothing like it's not like Dark Souls. Yeah, it's not like Dark Souls though.
Find your father, then find your son.
Right. It's not like Dark Souls where it's like barely has a story at all, or like Doom where it has barely a story at all and just has extremely fun gameplay.
Well, I love Doom.
Yeah. Most of my games have storytelling. I like storytelling games too. I mean, I like games that have storytelling. It's just that like
I also like
for me personally,
this is like a me thing. Okay, you continue. You go first.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, for me personally, I like story-based games and like have a heavy emphasis on story. It's just that I have to have a lot more gameplay to like really, really enjoy it. And I mean, I like the story for Heavy Rain. I think Heavy Rain has a fantastic story. It's just that if I'm actually gonna play it more than once,
Rain is very heavy with that one.
It is. It sure as hell was.
Very Heavy Rain.
Very. But I mean, if I'm
sequel Purple Rain was really good too.
I mean, if I'm really gonna enjoy it, I really gotta have like more gameplay than that if I want to play it more than once.
Alright. So I also like stories. Okay, Lord of the Rings, right? I like stories with tons of lore. Like, for example, well, like specifically, like like RPGs.
Yeah.
Like for example, there was a Lord of the Rings beginner, like it was like a whole lore breakdown video, part 1, and the part 1 video is 13 hours long.
Oh wow.
I know, right? And I like that stuff, but like, it's like that's why I like Skyrim, I think, a lot, or well, the Elder Scrolls, because like there's tons of videos about the lore and stuff.
Oh yeah, no tons.
And so yeah, like tons and tons. Like I found out that randomly that the second emperor of the empire was a minotaur, which is interesting. Right.
So, and getting back to his claim here, I feel like if he really says this, he's probably spent sorry, I can't even speak. Sorry. I've had a little bit to drink, so just bear with me. He has probably not even spent 5 minutes with LA Noire. Because I mean, I've played the game. I beat it from beginning to end. I beat it from beginning to end. I didn't spend a whole lot of time collecting different cars or anything like that. I pretty much just beeline the main story. And I mean, it's good. It's good. If you want like a good if you want a good detective game, it's a good one to play. And it looks a little dated now.
I'm surprised.
I was gonna say it's a little dated now.
I'm surprised he hasn't played it.
I'm surprised so too, but I was gonna say it's a little dated, but I promise you the facial. So I mean, I don't know what he means by like better mysteries, better personality. Like, oh my god. I mean, sure. Well, I don't know.
Okay, it's on Switch. I don't know why he hasn't played it. It's on Switch.
I was gonna say if it's on Switch, he needs to pick it up and give it a try. If he likes if he likes like like detective games, he should give it a try.
His super duper powerful i9 PC.
What?
That he says he has. He says he has a super powerful PC.
Ass bottle of wine that we just bought.
Yeah,
which I highly doubt it.
How much of it did you have?
I might have drank like half of it.
Then don't drink any more. Let's see. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. You got to find the balance. I'm talking about these kinds of games you can call cinema games, which are bad. I mean, I don't think cinema games are necessarily bad.
Well, okay.
I don't think they're awful. Okay. I think that just like, they could have more gameplay to be more interesting.
Yeah. Here's my opinion of cinema games. like so I played Alan Wake,
Mm-hmm.
and I like the story was interesting, but the gameplay was so bare bones. It was like cutscene, do like the most basic gameplay, and then other cutscene. It was just like I'm. If it was a movie, I would definitely watch it. But
Oh
as a
yeah.
game, it was very boring, and I was like, so that's why I don't have a PlayStation.
Right.
I,
Right.
I figured that one out.
Right.
I was like,
And I
oh, if
mean,
this is
like,
all their games, I don't want any of them.
I'm streaming right now.
Like, not to bash on people who like those games, but like I'm just saying,
Yeah.
the only PlayStation game I'm interested in is Spider-Man.
Right. Well, I wouldn't even consider that a movie game because it actually has like
No,
a
no,
lot
no.
of
Yeah,
combat.
that's why.
It just has
Yeah,
a
exactly.
lot more cutscenes than you would expect for a game like that. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's along the same vein as the
Besides
Arkham
that,
games.
yeah,
It's along
yeah,
the same
yeah,
vein as the
yeah. I
Arkham
like
games.
the Arkham game stuff.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah,
But
so
I honestly think like
that's
something that's like conflicting for me is I wouldn't even consider it a cinema game, but it is kind of like more or less a movie game, is like The Last of Us. I mean, there
Yeah.
are a lot of cutscenes. There's a lot of walking around, but the gameplay, the shooting sections are actually really fun,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm mad that they got rid of the
Can't wait for you to
multiplayer.
play
I'm sad that they got rid of the
the sequel.
multiplayer in the remake, because the multiplayer, if you want more of the gameplay, just play the multiplayer.
Yeah,
It's
the
actually really fun.
factions.
Yeah. And then they canceled
Oh, boy,
the
that-
online
Yeah, factions
game
too.
for that, which sucks. But let's see what else he
Yeah.
has to say.
It would have been crazy.
All right. Yeah, it would have been
Okay,
crazy. Yeah,
Factions
let's
on PC would have been crazy.
Oh, yeah, you know it. Let's continue this though. I
Yeah.
think we're getting carried away.
Lower budget.
Yeah.
Ace Attorney, more than I think any other game I've ever played, has made me really, really invested in the characters, in the world, in the setting. Like, you really end up thinking a lot about these people after you finish the game, to the point where in a lot of ways the sequels could never really live up to it. In a lot of ways, I kind of wish the trilogy had ended here like it was originally planned. Like, in a lot of ways the sequels suffer because this game is so good. And to this day, I've never really felt as if any visual novel or any other Ace Attorney game or any other game inspired by this, namely Danganronpa, has ever even really come close to what this game has accomplished. It has a surprisingly mature story. It has incredible characters, unforgettable moments, like the best cases in the franchise. There are no bad cases in Trials and Tribulations. And above all, they all tie together really, really well and create something that kind of surpasses itself. I was surprised when I went back through all of the games I've played over the years and realized just how much this game meant to me and how it cracked the top 10. I've always considered it one of my favorite games ever, but looking back on it, like, this game means more to me.
I don't have much to say about this because I've never played this game.
Yeah, neither do I. I think I might let the rest of this finish.
I was shocked when I went through my list and
Yeah.
This is a different
realized
one.
what
We could
I
talk
Okay,
about
wanted
here we
Five
to
go.
Nights at
put
Freddy's.
on the number
We're
9
already on a
position.
different game.
The game that
Right.
over the past several
Dragon
years,
Quest
I've been
7?
comparing every other JRPG
Again,
to
another one I haven't
Dragon
played,
Quest 7.
but of course
Fragments
it's on
of the
here because
Forgotten
it's
Past. Now,
Japanese
this
and
feels
stuff.
like
Yeah.
a game I've played relatively recently, but I played the 3DS version when it came out in
This just looks like
2017, so I saw
okay.
it.
Quest.
What I'll say about this is this looks like an alternate version of, like, maybe an earlier version of, like, something that Kingdom Hearts was inspired by.
Yeah.
This looks like a game
Yeah,
that
Dragon
kind of.
Quest I heard was pretty good.
I was gonna say this looks like a Kingdom Hearts kind of game, which, I mean, I've heard of good things
Yeah.
about Kingdom Hearts. I just said I've rarely heard anyone talk about Dragon Quest ever. So
Yeah, that's
I
yeah,
don't really know
same.
I don't really know what to make of this. I mean, a niche title, fine for having that in your top 10, but, like, I don't really have a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
So
A
I
long
think I might
time.
just let this
I've
Yeah,
been thinking
same.
play
about
out.
going back to the game. I looked into getting
we'll let it play out. But
another version of it. I
Dragon
would buy it
Quest,
again
oh
if it
boy.
came to Switch in a heartbeat.
I have no
I was
clue what
thinking
to
about
say.
taking it off the shelf and playing it again, but I have so
all I
many
remember
other Dragon Quest
Hero
games I
from
want to get
Smash.
through first, right? When I
Let's
come
see what
back to
else
this
he
game,
puts.
and
If he
when I
makes an
first
interesting
played it,
point
I
here.
honestly didn't think I would.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be after I play other Dragon Quest games. this is the first Dragon Quest.
It's like a turn-based
I had a very
RPG.
rough experience with it.
And not
So
the
why
good
wouldn't
kind
he
of
like Baldur's
turn-based.
Gate? If this is a turn-based RPG, why wouldn't he like Baldur's Gate? Like, it's just set in the D&D
No, that
universe.
requires actually using your brain.
Yeah, I mean, it's set in the D&D universe,
like
and you have
line.
brain, and you have to use your brain power, but like, it'd be pretty much the same exact thing. Like, just with a different skin on it.
That's too much for him.
Long,
apparently.
Grindy JRPG.
It's like I like the
RTS. Oh, it's okay. It's a JRPG
style of Baldur's Gate.
Okay, it's a JRPG. I have actually.
JRPG
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever properly
played. I don't like them.
Not properly. I don't know if I've ever really played a JRPG. So I don't really know what they're supposed to be like.
Ever. If you intend to do everything,
and
it was an exhausting
the early
experience
Final
playing through
Fantasies,
this over a period of months in 2017. I really considered giving up around the
Final
15-hour mark, and by the end, I felt kind
not
of
Kingdom Hearts.
But like when all is said and done,
but
I've actually never played.
I've
never not Kingdom Hearts. I've never played Final Fantasy either, so I don't know what to make of it.
The best time I've ever had with a JRPG.
My cousin doesn't
when I
like
look back and think of like all the incredible characters, all of the creative scenarios, the simplistic combat system, like, you know, the memorable moments. Like when I think back,
simplistic combat system.
My favorite JRPG is.
It seriously just
Sonic
looks like Sonic. No, this okay. He said simplistic combat system. And he never a simplistic combat system just looked like a it just looks like the same thing as like a turn-based RPG, like, you know, those like point and click RPGs, kind of like Baldur's Gate, where, you know, you press your attack button and then you attack and then they attack. It's like this. I mean, yeah, it's probably a little different, but like it's practically the same thing. So I don't know why he doesn't like Baldur's Gate, but he loves this for some reason. And we're going to be repeating this a lot throughout this stream.
It's because Baldur's Gate 3, it's because 3 specifically is not Nintendo.
Yeah.
1 and 2 are in all their DLC and stuff, but not 3.
I played Persona 5. That was a fun JRPG. I've heard Persona 5 is actually really good.
Yeah, Persona 5 is awesome.
I need to give that a try.
Persona 5 is... I haven't played it.
I haven't played it either, but I need to give it a try. Let's see. So
I played 4. And it was good from what I played, but just wasn't interested. That was fine.
Something we're going to be repeating a lot throughout this stream is that he hasn't explained how any of this stuff is good. He's just kind of said that, like, you know, characters are good, combat system's good, had a low budget, but they were able to do something good with it. It's like, explain how it's good then. You're acting like everybody who's watching this video has played the game before.
Everybody knows that it's good.
Like, it's like, no.
Like, I mean, okay, I'm just thinking, like, if I made my review like Harman Smith, okay, it's shameless plug time. If I made my Starfield review like Harman Smith makes his reviews, it would have been like, well, like, Skyrim's combat is very mid, but, like, I like Fallout 4's, but Starfield's is Fallout 4's, but better. And I like the characters of Starfield better than.
Oh my god! Why does it look like that?
Lay down.
So, all this and that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would have been like the most basic thing. It would have been like 3 minutes.
Yeah, it really would have been. Like, seriously,
Yeah,
it's just been like, say X.
It's the same thing with his Luigi's as well.
Yeah, you would just
same issue.
Just say X, Y, and Z is good, and that's it. Like,
yeah,
it's literally
like,
just.
Why?
It's so lazy. Anyway,
back on all of that,
I guess I'll just let this play.
Concept, right? When I think back on all of that, I think to myself that, like, this is the most fun I've ever had with a JRPG. The only one that ever came close was, you know, another title I consider for this list, Batten Kaitos Origins. But, like, I think in a lot of ways, Dragon Quest VII is better than that game. Maybe it's because, like, a recency bias, right? I've been playing Batten Kaitos Origins casually over the past couple of years. I've been playing through it again, and I still love the game, but I'm not sure I would put it in my top 10. But, like, when I think back to the experience
never even
of playing
heard of
Dragon
Batten
Quest
Kaitos,
VII, like,
but okay.
I don't remember like having those tedious moments in Bat and Kaido's Origins where like
I
you're
don't even know.
struggling with the Holo
Don't
Holo
ask me.
bird, or
Oh,
like
okay.
you have to go back
Okay,
to
it's
an old
going.
area.
It's just
Like
going
with
on,
Dragon
going
Quest
on.
Seven, it's like fresh, unique experiences throughout the entire thing. You're always meeting crazy new characters. You're always getting into these crazy situations,
Yeah.
and like you get into these amazing adventures throughout the entire thing. And yeah,
No
sure,
surprise,
it
it's a
drags.
Nintendo title.
Sure, you feel like the game should end, like like way sooner than it does. But like when you look back on your experience, you feel like you had a true epic adventure.
Oh, it's on a 3DS? Okay, I take
me
it back everything I said. It's the greatest game ever made.
Right? Like Dragon Quest VII is the reason I've fallen in love with Dragon Quest. It's weird to think about, but I've come to realize over the past several years that I think I like Dragon Quest more now than I ever did Final Fantasy, which is what I grew up with.
Oh,
but I like it more than any other JRPG franchise I've ever played.
Give it to who?
It all began with 7.
Okay, thank you.
Like I've
I'll
liked
take
4.
these pants.
I'm liking when I played a 5. I liked 8. I liked 11. 11. I was shocked when I realized it's actually one of my most played games on Nintendo Switch. I liked all those games, but when all is said and done, Dragon Quest VII is absolutely my favorite out of all of them.
Okay.
And
Webbs, have you played Final Fantasy at all?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not in
Okay.
any way.
Okay. If anyone in chat has played Final Fantasy,
boring, but I am playing on.
I gotcha.
Who?
I was gonna say, if anyone else in chat has played any Final Fantasy game, if Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy are at all comparable, I would really like to know, because he's saying that like this, he likes Dragon Quest better than Final Fantasy.
As a whole, it is the
even though he does
JRPG
like Final Fantasy.
that I compare every other JRPG to. This is what I
wait.
Well,
He
of course you're
compared.
gonna like it better than Final Fantasy. Don't like Final Fantasy.
Right. I mean, he also compared.
That's like,
Okay, so
so
his standard for JRPGs is this. I mean, I've never played Dragon's Quest, so I'm not gonna say it's bad or good, but he's this is what he's comparing it to.
Looking for in a game like this.
So that's what he looks for.
I really struggled coming to terms with what Pokemon game I wanted to put on the list.
Okay.
Do I want to put Black on there? Do I want to put Soul?
I'm just gonna go ahead and say this right now. Pokemon, probably the most overrated franchise to ever exist.
Base.
And that's all I'm gonna say.
Alert, guys.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Base alert.
To be fair, the only Pokemon game I have played is Pokemon Go, but I've never played a single Pokemon game. I've never played.
Thing I've ever heard.
I was gonna say I haven't played Pokemon Black or White or Silver, Scarlet, Ruby, whatever the fuck. I've never played a single Pokemon game. I tried getting into it. I've watched like a couple episodes of one particular anime, and that's it. I just could never get into the games. So.
I played Pokemon Sun.
You played Pokemon. Which one?
Okay, Sun. Pokemon Sun.
Okay.
On the 3DS. And I was alright, like overrated, but like
not bad.
Not the worst thing I've ever played, but it just wasn't for me. But
right.
I can see why it's definitely overrated, though. In my opinion. I can see why people like it, though. You know what I mean?
Pokemon was good, but it fell off. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Tune in chat said Pokemon was good, but it fell off. So I mean, I don't know enough about the recent games to really know to know if it fell off.
Bad.
Yeah, I heard that there's some of the actually two of the lowest rated Pokemon games ever. So I think that's saying a lot right there.
Because they were buggy.
Yeah, I heard that they were like bug-ridden.
The other problem.
I don't know either, but like that was pretty much it. So let's see what else he has to say about Pokemon.
I really do think there's no denying that
Pokemon.
My personal favorite, even if it's not the best.
He's like, Pokemon is my favorite streamer because her name sounds like
Red,
Pokemon.
Blue, and yellow. Particularly yellow.
I even bought her cookies and everything.
I got pretty good yellow for this, but when I look back on like why I really, really love the franchise, when I think of like the low fantasy setting, when I think about like the game that introduced me to the concept, when I think about like the 90s sprite work, when I think about like the original aesthetic, like learning to play the game
Red.
for the first time, learning how to catch Pokemon and learning how to team build and like how type advantages work. When I think back to all of that, like yeah, Yellow is the one that introduced me to all of that, and every single other Pokemon game, even all-time
Okay,
classic.
correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't like pretty much all Pokemon games like practically the same?
Yeah, I guess.
I was gonna say, don't they work practically the same way?
not
And there's like how
entirely.
many, like 15 different Pokemon games?
Well, it's kind of like the latest Call of Duty. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Where
yeah.
like it's different enough to where
It's
it could be
different
like, oh, this is a
enough to
different
where it could
game.
be its own
But
thing. Okay, I see
yeah,
what you
they
I see
have
what
like
you
the
mean.
new Call of Duty has new guns and new skins and stuff. Same thing with this, new Pokemon and I
Yeah.
think slightly newer locations and but it's the same game at the end of the day.
You're right. Gen 1 lol. I played
Gen
X
1.
Sun and Ultra Sun. Okay, yeah. Fair enough, I guess. I
Oh,
don't
he's the big boy. He played the better version.
You played the
Game.
better versions of them? Yes
Yeah,
and
it's
no.
like Daniel and Cooler Daniel.
Oh,
these are
okay.
nice. I'll
I
take these
gotcha.
pants.
You said yes and no. Okay, so I guess they in later entries they introduced different mechanics to make it different enough but it's still different.
Yeah,
The same
because
kind of game at the end of the day.
Yeah, the last game that just recently released is open world.
Let's see. So that's definitely different from the Pokemon formula.
Uh,
I mean, like, was it? I mean, but
I just treat Pokemon
I heard
like
that
Call of Duty.
right because they're. I mean, like longest running
Well,
a couple of the
closest
longest running
Pokemon.
franchises, and they're practically the same game in and out, but with subtle differences here and there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Classics
yeah.
like Silver
Like
and Gold,
like new
right?
guns and new skins, but at the end of the day,
were
they're still
very
going to
much
be
influenced by
Pikachu.
this, and in a lot of
Pikachu's going to be in
ways,
every game.
Right. Of course.
like
The
Silver
coolest part about Pokemon, though,
is
that you can take your Pokemon from like Gen 1, on the Game Boy, all the way to the one on the Switch, if you wanted to.
Really? So you can just
So
transfer
it's very
Pokemon?
simple. Yeah, you can transfer
That's
Pokemon.
cool. That's actually kind of
Crazy.
cool. That's actually kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's built off of years and years, and I don't even know if you can do it now, but
Oh
I
no,
bet there's some people out there that have like Pikachu from Gen 1.
probably.
Like fully evolved.
Probably. Saying Gen 1 is your favorite just feels like saying the Zelda for NES is your favorite. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, Zelda NES.
I mean
Oh.
I mean
Oh.
to be fair, I've tried it like once. I didn't know what the fuck to do, so I just put it down. But I hear that like the original NES Zelda is actually like
My opinion.
pretty revolutionary. Of course, so it's dangerous to go alone. Take
It was
this.
revolutionary.
But I mean, like, I'm sure there's some stuff about it that's definitely dated by now.
Oh yeah. That's why it's so hard to play nowadays.
No, you can't take it to the Switch. Oh, you really? So,
Oh,
wait,
you can't? Oh,
you
dang.
can't? You can't?
Oh yeah,
So
I think Nintendo did something. Yeah,
they removed that.
Nintendo they did something dumb.
So
Yeah,
they put like a
they
blockade on
probably
it or something like that. That's stupid.
They probably did. I don't even
Does
know.
have a lot
if
of
they did.
its own problems, right?
Let's see here.
Like
That's how much
Gen
I
3 has its
care.
problems, Gen 4 has its
Right.
problems, but like this was the first, right? This is the one that really established what makes the formula work. And
If
when
my
I think
boy
back on it,
Mario,
like,
if
for
my
that
boy
reason
Mario 64 is on here, then I'm gonna I can't help but agree with everything he says. That's
Right.
the law.
I can't
Like,
believe I didn't think of this
that's
earlier.
just the
Here,
law.
let me go ahead and just. I didn't think of this earlier. Are you in the stream chat or like
Yeah.
you are? You are
Dream
you.
chat. Let me see here.
I was gonna say, are you in the stream chat, or do I need to stream the video to you?
I think it'd be best to like
If I just streamed it to
stream
you.
it to me.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I don't know why I didn't think
Yeah.
about that earlier. All right, go live. All right, so this is where we are
Yeah,
in the
go.
video.
Go.
So let me go ahead and just pull up YouTube chats. Can you see it?
Let me. It's being silly. Let me.
Uh-oh.
Come on, baby, load. That's what I say every time. I need something to load.
Huh.
Come on.
Please.
Did you hear about the? I know this is off topic, but did you hear about the Mickey Mouse horror game?
I
coming
didn't.
out?
No, I didn't.
Because Mickey Mouse, because the Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse is in public domain.
Yeah, it's public domain now, so.
Disney's like, no.
But like now,
Because, well, this Mickey Mouse is way different.
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
now what is going to be the face of Disney? Like, I mean, I guess it's
Well,
still going to
okay,
be Mickey Mouse,
they
I guess,
still-
but
okay,
like
they can still. They just can't like they can't like okay so they like okay so basically the Mickey Mouse we can use and make money
Yeah.
off of is like Steamboat Willie specifically Mickey Mouse.
okay, but not like new Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, you
Even
can't
though it's
use
the exact, even though it's the
overalls
exact same
and-
fucking character.
Yeah. It's the exact same
Gotcha.
thing, but we can't do that.
All right, well, okay.
Guess what? Guess who changed all the copyright laws and stuff?
Who did?
Disney.
Yeah, that's
'Cause they
true.
didn't want
Yeah,
they didn't want Mickey Mouse to get in the sweaty palms of angry Redditors and stuff.
that's true.
Well, it's too late. Oh, next major character to enter public domain is Superman, I think.
Oh no, a Superman
That's gonna
horror
be
movie.
That already exists though.
It does.
Brightburn. Brightburn.
no.
Have you heard of that?
The horror game, those
That-
horror
that
games feel
movie-
like money laundering scams. Yeah, honestly, they really do.
Yeah, the movie / games. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, look, it's Mickey Mouse, but he's scary.
It happened with Winnie the Pooh
Wow.
whenever he first went into public domain. So
Yeah. Blood and Honey. I did
Yeah.
watch that actually.
I heard it was horrible.
Honestly, it wasn't the worst thing. It was mid. It's like a fun like B slasher movie you would like watch with your friends.
Like around Halloween time.
It was, yeah, just like look how the concept of Winnie the Pooh coming to kill everybody.
Yeah,
it's just
that's
like, yeah.
it's just silly. Yeah. All right, can you see the
Yeah,
video?
Hold on, let me try something here.
Okay.
And then I bet Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey is Kim Jong-un's favorite movie. 'Cause he loves Winnie the Pooh.
Probably.
It's not loading for me.
It's not. Oh shit.
Buddy. Discord
it's-
doesn't like working with me.
Uh,
Discord's a stickler for Wi-Fi. It's like, give me all your Wi-Fi.
that's
And if
true.
a
it
bar
is.
goes down, your video is going off.
Right. 'Cause, like,
Alrighty. Alright. Okay. Let me leave the call and come back and see if that works.
okay.
Alrighty. Let's see. Dang, did not work.
It's still not loading.
Nah.
God.
Let me.
You may just
One more
you may
time.
just have to enter like the YouTube chat or something.
W.
You may just have to do. If it's not working on Discord, you may just have to do
Oh
that.
my god. Oh, Harman just finally realized. Oh no, Harman
What?
is gonna do something to Steamboat Willie.
He is.
he said, I should re-upload the entire thing to my YouTube channel and monetize it. Oh my god.
Oh no.
I hope he doesn't.
I hope he doesn't either.
Harman's gonna make money off of Steam. Even though tons of channels, it was so funny because I saw like right when New Year's dropped, you know.
Yeah.
Like right when it was next year, someone made a video and said, "Do you guys like my new Mickey Mouse animation?" And it was just Steamboat Willie.
Oh my god.
It was funny, but like I'm like, great. Now we're gonna see a bunch of Steamboat Willie monetization schemes, bro.
Right. Yeah.
It's like it's gonna be something like, guys, I found a rare Mickey Mouse cartoon. It's just gonna be Steamboat Willie.
Yeah. Exactly.
Lovely.
Yeah. Can you
we're royally screwed now.
Can you see the video at all?
Okay, I'll give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, it came on. No.
Oh, no, okay. All right, then just join the stream on YouTube and you just watch it that way. I guess you're gonna be a little behind, but like.
Okay.
I don't know why it's not working for you then. That's super weird.
It's Discord.
That's true. I'll just go ahead and close that out then. Alright, just let me know once you're joined and then I can continue the video.
Alright, let's do this.
Okay. I'll go ahead and press play.
Alone, I think of this as my favorite.
It is very behind.
I think back to, like how it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just wait. I guess I can wait for it to catch up too.
And it's fine. You can just tell me if it switches to a game or you have something to say. It's fine.
Okay.
You can say it and then comment on that.
Okay. I played Gen 1 on 3DS but got bored. But that's when already playing games like X and Sun Mart. Maybe without Gen 1 would be more fun, but Gen 1 just feels like toast without butter. Okay,
so basically,
yeah, I think I can see what you're saying. Yeah.
Dry toast.
Yeah. All right.
Attached.
Let's just continue the video.
I think the reason why people are like Gen 1 was so good is nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I can definitely see that.
I heard like the DS games were peak.
Yeah, I heard those are pretty good.
I'm not gonna play them to test that theory, but yeah, I'll take your word for it.
yeah.
151 Pokemon. I think back to how much I liked Gym Leaders, how much I liked the anime. You know, that was based on this game. I look back on all of that. I look back on like countless hours like playing through this game, you know, finding all the secrets, exploring the world, you know, like discovering like where Pokemon were hiding, you know, like trading and battling, right? Like this was the reason to own a link cable back in the day. You know, when I think back on it, like there was a time where the only reason I even owned a Game Boy was because of Pokemon.
Oh, Harman's about to go live.
There were a lot of games.
Oh, he is?
Oh, that's fire.
Oh, no.
I don't want to watch it. But
I don't either, but... Let's continue this. Let's continue the video.
But, like, I wasn't really interested in a lot of Game Boy or Game Boy Advance games at the time. You know, the most popular Nintendo console of all time.
Mew's behind the truck.
I was mostly interested in it for one video game.
That was a fire.
One franchise that just blew me away with its creativity, with its world building, with its design, with its characters, with its aesthetic, with its personality, right? Like, it's...
But you won't give that same praise to Elden Ring because you have a hate boner for FromSoft.
Yeah.
Like, it does all of the same things that you just listed in a very compelling way while having extremely fun and engaging combat. Like, while I do have my own opinions on Elden Ring, my video on my channel will explain that, but I have my own opinions on Elden Ring, but it's still a fantastic game. and it does.
Yeah.
It has a lot, very good world building. The NPCs are interesting. The world is fun to explore. The combat is very fun. Like, there's a reason you want to go around and explore every inch of the world and just get lost in it. Like, that's the reason why you would want to own a console or a gaming PC, is just to play the game because it's so fun. It's the exact same.
Yeah, it reminds me of like Skyrim.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's the same deal with Skyrim. Same deal with any other game that like does a good job with world building and has interesting characters.
Yeah.
But he won't give it to anything other than a Nintendo title.
Exactly.
Like,
everything that is a Nintendo it falls short.
Basically. Jesus.
I hope my bae Sonic the Hedgehog is on here.
Probably. It probably is. I don't want to spoil myself, so let's just continue.
Like, how much you
it's his favorite franchise, 100%.
This game, you know?
He's not salty still from the 80s or 90s when Sonic and Mario were against each other. 100%.
Tune in, chat. I don't even need to play Elden Ring to know it's better than Gen 1. I mean, I guess if you've played a Pokemon game before, then that might be true.
That is facts.
Bridge, you know, those guys that break into the house, you know, the casino, right? You know, going through Mount Moon for the first time, you know, learning surf, like going through, like learning and seeing just how much there is to see in this game. You know, like uncovering everything the game has to offer.
But everything that has like deep exploration, you won't give it the credit that it's due. Like Elden Ring, like Baldur's Gate 3, like Skyrim, like I mean, hell, even a game I have personally a game I have personally never played, but you like, Webs, even Starfield. You're not gonna give it the credit that it deserves.
Ooh.
Like Starfield, there's a lot of debate to go around Starfield's exploration. Planets are bare bone.
Yeah.
But at least the exploration is still there. Like, you have the option to do it. And if you're interested in space exploration, you can go around and uncover it all.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it's just, oh my god.
The exploration is there. And I'll even argue, even with those bare bone planets, there's still stuff you can do with them.
Yeah, like I'm sure there is.
I remember.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there at least like a cave or two that you can find on those bare bone planets?
Yeah, there's caves. There's also like research. I think there's like a research outpost on every one, like an abandoned or no. The research outposts usually have someone in them. But I think there's like a research outpost at least on every planet, or at least two or three on every planet. And there's also just other things you can find.
Right.
Like, the issue a lot of people have with these planets, I think, are like that it's like the only thing you have to traverse around is a jetpack.
yeah, the jetpack
like,
jump.
Ton Howard looked me dead in the eye, not me, but the streamers that asked him if there's gonna be like vehicles. He looked us dead in the eyes and said no. And I said, and they were like, why? And he said, well, I mean, we want people to like walk around like in Skyrim. And I'm like,
but the planets are too big for that.
Skyrim is a way smaller game, or map, than like a freaking planet.
Yeah, a solar system with a bunch of different planets.
Skyrim, and then there's a planet.
Yeah. Like, I think at least in Skyrim you had horses if you wanted to get somewhere faster.
Yeah, and you
but also the fast travel is just so easy and convenient, and there's just really no need to use them. But when it comes to Starfield, a space exploration game, why would you not include rovers? Like, that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Or freely use your
though.
ship around in space itself. Because I mean, like,
but they are adding.
I mean, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna get into. I'm not gonna go too deep into it. But the way that Bethesda responded to the reviews is just. It's bad. All right.
That's why people started hating on it.
Yeah.
They're like, because I actually on the console. So I looked at the reviews on the console. They're actually really good. They're like most of them are like 5 stars.
I believe
but like
that.
on Steam, it's just a hellscape.
Yeah, it's bad. All right, we're getting carried away. Let's go. Let's go back into this.
And catching all 150 Pokemon is a real achievement, a real accomplishment that I've never actually managed because I've never been able to get my hands on 2 copies of the game and was able to trade them all. And of course, like you have like the Mew thing, 151, which isn't even obtainable through normal means, right? Like this game kickstarted the biggest media franchise in the world.
We still on Pokemon?
Today,
yeah, unfortunately.
Oh my gosh.
The future of Pokemon.
Pokemon
so I
is
think
just
back to like a lot of other things.
I mean, yeah, overrated.
It's weird
I think
to see just how like Pokemon.
Like if you like it, that's fine.
Yeah,
like,
true. I was a Bakugan kid.
When you're not like
that, I really would.
The thing is, though, he's not reviewing the game.
Yeah, he's not. He's basically. I mean, if you're doing a top 10, you don't necessarily need to review it per se.
Yeah, of course. But like, look, this video is 50 some odd minutes long.
Yeah.
So surely you would expect him to review the game for how long he's talking about them.
Okay, I don't think we have.
Like,
okay.
It's good.
I don't think we have much longer to go, so I think we'll just need to continue it.
To really, really,
we can't pause every 5 seconds.
Yeah, we can't
get more competitively involved. You know, like actually, it's an amazing experience, right? Like growing up with Pokemon, it's kind of a cultural thing for millennials, like people in my age group. Like just how significant this game was.
I know we said we weren't going to pause every 5 seconds, but I just got to say this. Like we were saying, I think Pokemon's overrated. I was more of a Bakugan kid. I never got like, I never got heavily in. I didn't get heavily into it, but the little balls that transformed into like these little cool like robotic monsters, I thought they were cool. I thought they were cool, so I just like to. They are fire. I just like to collect them as like little toys, but that was it.
Yeah.
I never like.
I remember, like. Those were like the most fire Happy Meal toys from McDonald's. Bro.
They really were.
They were actually like the
really
Bakugans, but they were like miniature. Yeah. And like I just have fun like throwing them.
They were,
so fun.
And then like they had the little magnets on the bottom, so you throw them on the card and they open up. That was really cool.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah, but when it comes to like Pokemon, I mean, like I know it's like a big thing for like millennials who grew up in the 90s. But
yeah.
I don't know. I could never get into it personally. Which I mean, if you like it, fine. But I mean, I don't see the reason to hype it up this much.
Yeah.
For Game Boy owners and Nintendo fans, it's probably a big reason why Nintendo thrived so much in the 90s. You know, thrived so much with the Game Boy. And I've seen so many people like speak ill of this game over the years, and it really is something that I straight up laugh at because the game is just phenomenal, right? Like this is an endlessly replayable RPG where you can experiment with your team building, with the route you take, with the
There's another game that did the same thing that came out this year. It's called Baldur's Gate 3. You can find NPCs all around the world to your heart's content, and you can experiment with different methods to approach combat. It's the same fucking thing. like
literally.
Oh my god. Yeah. There are so many different RPGs that do the same thing that your precious Pokemon game did too.
Because, you know, he doesn't dislike it because it won Game of the Year and because it's not Nintendo. He also doesn't like it because it's a Western RPG. Same thing with Starfield. Same thing with whatever. Maybe Sea of Stars.
Fallout.
And any other RPG release. Fallout, yeah. He doesn't like those because they're Western RPGs.
I also want to say, I think another reason Nintendo thrived in the 90s so much was because purely of the N64.
Yeah, the
there were
Nintendo 64 was
so many different good games that came out for that system was because that was the big reason why they thrived so much in the 90s. I don't doubt it was also because of Pokemon as a franchise as well, but Nintendo 64 was the biggest reason that they thrived so much in the 90s. I mean, you got Super Mario 64, you got Star Fox 64, you got Conker's Bad Fur Day, you got Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Superman 64. I mean, a lot of fucking bangers that came out in that time.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I lost you for a second. No, we're good.
No,
We're
it's
good.
fine.
We're good. Yeah, you're good.
I don't know why. I just had lag, bro. Lag in real life.
Oh.
Learn, like, there's so much you can do to excel at this game.
This guy's overhyping this game.
So
Yeah,
much
he is.
depth here,
He is.
despite,
I don't
like being so simplistic on the surface. Like, it is it is crazy to think about, but the game has held up. Every time I play it, even now, I'm anxiously re-releasing awaiting a release on Nintendo Switch Online. Every time I play this game, I just find myself like completely taken aback by how good it actually is. And unfortunately, it's one of those games that like I've kind of played to death over the years. Lately, I've been thinking that like maybe I should give Soul Silver, like Gen 2 or Gen 5 another go, right? But like there's a very good reason why this specifically is the game I always come back to whenever I want to play classic Pokemon.
I feel like if we really need to, we can skip like. Or we get scanned.
Oh no! It's about to go. It's about to go into. Literally about to go into the next one. So I think we'll just let the rest of it play.
Yeah. He's taking too long.
He is. Like we're what an hour and 17. Oh wait, we got a rare title. We got a rare title. I can't wait to see what it is. But
Banjo? What is it?
I don't know. We'll see.
Ooh.
But listen, I wanted to also say you were saying he's taken too long, which he is. We're an hour and 17 minutes into the stream, but we also derail topic sometimes, and we're only 17 minutes into the video, so we got to try and get through this a little bit faster.
Oh yeah! Every time you saw that title screen, you knew. You knew. You were about to see the greatest game ever made.
Boy.
It's weird to
Donkey
think,
Kong
but
Country.
This is
okay.
Probably one of the very first Nintendo games I ever played.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm
Do you
not
have thoughts?
against that, but like at the same time, out of all Rare's games, of course it's a Nintendo one.
Yeah.
Like okay,
That's...
Donkey Kong Country is good. It's good. Okay, I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah.
Like. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not, like, against this, but at the same time, it's like, out of all the games they have, of course he picks Donkey Kong.
Yeah. I mean, I hear that Donkey Kong Country is, like, a great fucking game for, like, the was it Super NES days, I think is what it was, right?
Yeah, the Super NES.
Yeah. For the SNES days.
Or SNES, my bad.
Yeah, I feel like I hear that that's a very good game for its time, and I've been wanting to give it a try. It's just that I haven't had the time, and I also don't use my Switch a lot, so I don't feel a reason to pay for Nintendo Online. So I haven't bothered. But I hear it's a good game.
Yeah, just emulate it, bro.
Yeah, I'll probably just emulate it on like
if you want to play it, just emulate it.
On like Dolphin or something. I'll probably emulate it. But I hear it's a good game.
Yeah.
Like I want to give it a shot. But
same.
I mean, like,
it's a pretty good game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe top 10 Nintendo titles. I hear that it's top 10 worthy. But I don't know about top 10 games ever. Because there's so many that came out throughout the years that is just so good that you just can't like pass it up as a top 10 contender.
Harman is like his vision for what is top 10 is so narrow.
It really is because he only
it has to be Nintendo.
He only has
something oriented with Nintendo.
I think his standards are just very, very unique.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean, like, making a game's top 10 games of all time list would be difficult because there's more than 10 games.
It is.
If you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
But he's shortening his scope to like a very small degree.
It's just
you
like,
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think I can make a top 10 games of all time list.
I could
make a top 10 games that I played in 2023.
Yeah. I could probably do a top 15 or top 20 maybe, but not like a top 10.
I can do I can make a top 3 like but
yeah. Okay, let's
I think though if we need to, we can just start skimming his stuff because like you said, he does ramble.
Yeah. I do want to watch the whole thing though, just to see what points he raises. So, if he wants to say that something like this game did it better than another game, so we'll see. I have returned. What's up, Ellen? Welcome back.
Welcome back.
All right, let's see what he has to say about Donkey Kong Country.
Right, and it only made number 7 on my list. That is crazy to think about, but
number 7.
There is no denying that DK's Donkey Kong Country and its sequel, Donkey Kong Country 2, have been two of my favorite Nintendo games in recent years. And in a lot of ways, I think Donkey Kong Country 2
I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it.
I don't know what number 1 is.
I wouldn't doubt if it was Tears of the Kingdom, to be honest.
Tears of the Kingdom.
But
I'm going to throw my phone across the room.
Growing up with DKC1 specifically, and considering how difficult DKC2 is to get into, for someone who isn't a hardcore fan, even today, I find myself surprised how enjoyable this game is. This is one of those games that I think a lot of people, even today, play as their first ever Nintendo game. One of their first platformers ever. It's kind of shocking to think about this, but like the visual style and the artistry still resonates with people today, right? This is classic Super Nintendo, just visual design. It's crazy comparing this to other Nintendo games like Super Mario World and just seeing just those 3D models in motion, seeing like the creative background, seeing like the environments, seeing like just the locales, and just like it looks like a playable cartoon in a lot of ways. And I feel the same way about Donkey Kong 64, where it feels like Rareware really understood how to make an art style that would stand the test of time, because the main reason this was so big back in the day was because of how technically demanding it all was. But if you realize this today, if you look at like games being made today,
it's kind of a hard game,
like games that are like designed to be stylistic,
it's fun,
especially beautiful, stuff like BioShock Infinite.
It's harder. It's not as forgiving as Mario is,
but.
Wait, hold on. I want to go back.
Stuff like
there's something
BioShock
he said.
Infinite, for example.
What did he say?
Especially beautiful stuff
what
like
did he say?
BioShock Infinite. Today, if you look at like games being made today, you'll see just how quickly that like games that are like designed to be stylistic or especially beautiful, stuff like BioShock Infinite, for example, how quickly those games feel dated.
Like.
When you look
okay. I don't know how BioShock Infinite can necessarily feel dated with its art style. Like,
what do you mean by that?
I don't know what he means by that, but like, it doesn't feel dated. Like, I heard that BioShock Infinite is probably the worst one out of all 3 that came out, but it doesn't necessarily feel dated with its art style. Like, you can tell it's a modern game. I mean, sure, the main girl has like
BioShock Infinite.
I haven't really played it either, but I've seen like screenshots and gameplay and stuff. And sure, the girl has like the cartoon eyes or whatever, but like it doesn't look dated per se. It looks like it's it looks like BioShock. It just looks like BioShock. That's all I can really say. It looks like BioShock.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. BioShock looks great.
BioShock is good, yeah, it's good, and it also like he's saying like with like Donkey Kong's art style, BioShock is another one that has a good art style that like I don't know what he means by stand the test of time, but like I guess like so it would be what like the way it looks is like memorable or whatever.
Yeah,
I
maybe I have no
maybe
clue.
I don't know either. But like
It's
I
it's
mean the art.
Austin Smith.
I mean I will say it very has a very unique art style. So like it's very recognizable. And so
Yeah.
does BioShock. It has a very unique and recognizable art style. Like once you see what it looks like, you're like, "Oh yeah, that's BioShock." It's not like Call of Duty where every single game looks the exact same and you can't tell which is which. Like
Exactly.
or you can't tell the difference between Call of Duty and Battlefield. Like
Oh yeah, Battlefield. Ugh. I haven't really played Battlefield that much.
I mean, I played Battlefield
Like
4, I think. I played a little bit of Battlefield
I
4
heard
and it
that
wasn't
was
terrible.
good.
It's not terrible. Okay. All right, let's continue to see what he has to say.
This, when you see like how this looks, like when you play it, like even today, like you're taken in by like the genuine passion and creativity and just like aesthetic appeal of the characters, right? You don't care that this game came out in 94. You don't care that it's technically outdated because the game looks and plays so well. And it,
Well, that's kind of the thing with older games and games that look like I mean, I'm going to bring up the like boomer shooters, for example, like Ultra Kill, like Dusk. He would probably say those
Yeah.
games are bad because he doesn't like Doom Eternal. but
Bruh.
but those games like they look old, but
Boomer shooters
they're
are
new
fun.
but they're newer titles. So
Yeah.
it really
Yeah,
all
they're
depends
new,
on your
they
preference.
They just look old.
Yeah, if like if it just depends on your preference. Like if you really care about graphics, you're probably not going to like the game because it looks older. It's just a preference thing. So if you
You
don't
gotta play PlayStation games, you know? if you care about graphics so much, right?
or play like modern like Xbox titles. Well,
Yeah.
just go play like newer. Just
I
go.
wouldn't play. Well,
I was gonna say if you care about graphics, just go play newer games. That's it. Like don't play older games. But if you don't care about graphics, then like like new boomer shooters like Ultra Kill or Dusk or just games like that, it's an easy recommend for people because they play well and they have like the
Yeah.
old school like Quake graphical design. So really, I'm one of those people that just doesn't care about graphics as long as it's fun to play and has a interesting enough story. Then I don't really care. Like I mean like plus like people
Yeah.
what is it developers like New Blood who use this old school style I think is actually really cool.
Yeah.
They're not sticking to like
Yeah, I do like the old
they're not
style.
they're
Yeah.
not sticking to like
Like you
ray
gotta make it ultimately realistic.
yeah, they're not sticking to like ray traced shadows or reflections or anything like that or anything super realistic. And while I
Peach
like
fuzz.
and while I like those games, while I like games that look realistic, sorry, Harman is killing me. It's
Yeah.
I don't care that these games
Poison
look
the
older.
waters.
I just don't care that these games look older. I think they're
Yeah.
fun. They're fun. Do you have anything that you want to add to it, Webbs, or before I continue rambling?
I do like I do like these older games. Like okay, like you said, graphics in video games like those are nice, but honestly, I feel like the better the game, I feel like a lot of people focus too much on graphics. Like, oh, we gotta make this game look like real life.
Yeah,
You know,
I think devs do focus on
like
that a
I
little
think a lot
much.
of people are too focused on that.
Yeah,
It's just like then like the game like is like either buggy or the gameplay isn't fun. That's the issue when you focus too heavily on graphics,
yeah,
I think. But that's why these boomer shooters are like everyone's like, wow, these are so good because like they didn't really focus on graphics and they look good. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And so they
yeah.
can focus on gameplay. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I say.
it's so straightforward, right? It's so easy to understand and to get into and to finish. And as you play through the game, it's not very long. As you play through the game, you really appreciate the artistry and just the general design. How you're always doing something different. How each stage has a completely unique, fresh gimmick. How like both characters feel completely different from one another. Like you appreciate everything the game does. It just builds up to just this phenomenal finale that even today is shockingly difficult for even experienced players. I know people who have played this game after, 10, 20 years of not really touching it and being surprised at how challenging the final boss is, right? Like the game is definitely a lot easier than DKC 2 or 3, and a lot of people use that as a knock, but I personally think it's a big part of its appeal. Like the reason why it's still played to this day is that like it is easy to get into, right? It is easy to understand. It is easy to play. It's very very easy to understand why this game is fun. And I think in a lot of ways this is a game that has that over its contemporaries. Yoshi's Island is kind of hard to understand in comparison. Super Mario World is kind of hard to understand in comparison. The new Super Mario Bros. Games, even like the new Donkey Kong Country games, I think they don't have quite the same vibe. And although I think those games are better in a lot of respects, with way more demanding stage design, way more content, like way more things to do in general, like there's no denying that there's something like really special about this game that just appeals to me even now. And in recent years, I've kind of played this game to death. I'm kind of taking a break from it at the moment, but even now, recording this footage, I just get excited seeing these stages again. Seeing like how much this game just manages to deliver with like such limited technology back in the 90s. Like comparing the
Okay, so I didn't bring this up earlier, but I originally wasn't gonna say anything, but like he said something about challenge being a part of its appeal. Why won't you give the same thing to Souls?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
difficulty
Like,
is
okay.
difficulty is a
That's
huge
the
part.
appeal.
Difficulty is a part of the Souls
Yeah.
appeal. Like it's different. Like Souls is different than Elden Ring, where I think Elden Ring is hard for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Souls is difficult for the right reasons, in my opinion. So why won't you give the same credit there? And I mean, sure, Donkey Kong. I've never played these games, so I'm not sure. But I hear that they are relatively difficult. I hear they're relatively difficult. So if that's part of the appeal, why don't you like Souls then? Because that's also a part of the appeal. If you don't like sorry, go ahead.
He in his Luigi's video, he said. He said, well, they're, when he was talking about Armored Core 6, he was like, I think their games just being hard for hardness sake is wearing off on them. People are starting to realize that's all they got, or something like that. So he's using it as a negative. Well, I think he did say that Armored Core 6 was easy, even though he's never played it. But,
yeah.
or something like that. But he did say, like, oh, people are just now realizing that they only make one type of game. And that's all they have. And so he's using that as a negative, but here it's okay.
Dude. What, like, okay, so he's contradicting himself. He's just contradicting himself. So, like, okay, so if he said that in his Armored Core 6 review, he's like, yeah, he's using that as a negative. Why what the fuck?
Yeah, he's like, well, yeah. He's like, all they do is make hard games, and
they're hard for the sake of being hard. By that, judging by that logic, wasn't in like the 90s, wouldn't Donkey Kong be doing the same thing by that logic? It's hard for the sake of being hard. Like, I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying by his logic, his logic, that's what it would be.
Because Rare released like 3 other games, like other sequels.
Yeah. So like oh my god, this dude is killing my brain. Let's see. How much longer do we have until the next game? Okay, not much.
There's 2 other games that came out around the
I think this is why we should start like jumping through these.
In a lot of ways,
we're gonna be here for hours.
Well, we're already an hour and a half in, so
because it feels like in recent years people aren't talking about this as much. I've seen people call this like an overrated game on the Super Nintendo, but it really is one of the console's best. And I
It's your opinion.
still
That's
think
fair.
of it as one of my favorite games of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, before we get into the next game, I want to. Okay, let's see, Alan. I hate those types of people who think all games need to look realistic. I don't even care if my games look realistic. I mean, who does? I mean, these days with there's being such a wide variety of games and games that are resorting back to that old school look, I don't think anybody does anymore.
Because that's actually new now.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
unless you,
it's new and innovative.
Yeah, and unless you're one of those like, I guess like 15-year-old frat boys who need everything to look realistic. I don't know.
They need all this
horsepower. It's got to look realistic or else it's not good. Like I don't understand their logic either.
Yeah, that's one thing like that. Yeah, that's one thing like PlayStation fanboys that I noticed would use against other people. Be like, that's not. Look at the character models, bro. Like that doesn't look realistic. It's just like, bro.
It's like, why does it matter?
I mean, why does it matter? I mean,
if he hates hard games, he must really hate the Ninja Gaiden games for the NES. I didn't even know there were Ninja Gaiden games on the NES.
I heard Ninja Gaiden is pretty hard.
I've heard Ninja Gaiden is hard too, but I didn't know that it was like, I didn't know it was a thing on the NES.
Yeah.
That's cool though. All right, what is this?
I had to fight.
What's game number
to
whatever this
prevent myself
number
from putting
6
multiple Zelda games on this list. There are so many great ones that I probably could have just made a top 10 games ever list.
It's an old school Zelda game.
Entry be a Zelda game, you know. Ocarina
what
of
is
Time
it?
could have been on.
Oh, is
here.
it Link's? It might be a Link to the
could have been on
Past.
here. The original Zelda
Or
could have been
Link's
on
Awakening.
here. Majora's Mask. Breath of the Wild, A Link Between Worlds, the sequel to this. All right, they're all great games, but like I don't think there's any denying that the one I've played the most over the years is A Link to the Past, and
A Link to the Past.
For that reason alone, it is my favorite. It's weird to think about because I think growing up, I had much more of a fondness for Ocarina of Time. But
I've heard that one's good.
Era where that game was really.
All right, to preface, I guess before we go into it more, I have only played Majora's Mask and Breath of the Wild, so
Majora's Mask is fire.
Majora's Mask is a good game, and I like Breath of the Wild. I haven't beaten Ganon, but I do like the game. I like Breath of the Wild. I think it's
Breath of the Wild anymore.
I think it's a good game.
Ganon is like.
What's wrong with Ganon?
It's underwhelming.
What, the fight is underwhelming?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Oh, okay.
And the issue with me though is that when I played Breath of the Wild, right, and then I got Skyrim a little bit later. And I just dropped Breath of the Wild. I'm like, this game is.
Yeah, I was gonna
Skyrim opened my eyes, and now I can't go back.
I was gonna do all of the shrines in Breath of the Wild, but it was so daunting that I just kind of dropped it and forgot about it. But I think it's a good game. I think it's a really good game, and same goes for Majora's Mask. I think Majora's Mask is fantastic. But it's just like, you know, the day cycle thing is what really confused me about it, and also like just the progression is what really confused me about that game. But
the breaking of weapons.
Breaking of weapons in Breath of the Wild is so fucking annoying. But we'll have to see what else he has to say, because I've only ever played 2 Zelda games, so I don't know what else I'm gonna have to say.
I tried playing the original games on NES. I played a tiny bit of Link's Awakening. Or Link to the Past, my bad. And I played Ocarina of Time. I haven't played Majora's Mask, but I've seen a lot about it, so I know a lot about Majora's Mask. So I know it's a good game. I don't want to buy it, though. I don't want to emulate it. I want to buy it. Put it in my collection.
I gotcha.
And then I play Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
I played a lot of Zelda games.
You play more than me, that's for sure. All right, let's see.
I'm not saying much.
I mean, I guess not, but let's see what else he has to say about a Link to the Past.
Yeah.
All
like
right.
really, really cutting edge. And A Link to the Past was kind of outdated when I first played it. But like I think as I've gotten older, I've really started leaning more towards A Link to the Past. Not necessarily because I think it's a better game because both are great, but like there's something about these old Super Nintendo games that's just way more replayable. Right? They don't have a lot of drawn out story sequences. They don't have a lot of
The issue
padding. They
is
don't
with
have
this
like a lot of
game is that I
backstory.
can't really say, oh yeah, yeah, I agree with you or whatever. I didn't
Right.
really put that much time into it.
Right.
Backing. Like they're very, very straightforward, and I really appreciate that about them. And A Link to the Past, I think, strikes a really good balance between the classic OG Zelda of like having that Western-inspired fantasy feel while being very similar in style and gameplay to the later games. Right? This is kind of the missing link between the two styles of gameplay, and in a lot of ways, it's the best of both worlds, right? You know,
So hold on. He doesn't like Western. Was it like Western style
Yeah,
RPGs? But
yeah,
he says that's a positive for this game.
bruh,
What
what?
the fuck? Hold on, let me back up to see exactly what he said. Zelda of
Yeah,
having that Western inspired artist fantasy Western
being
inspired fantasy
very
feel
similar in
while
style
being
and
very
gameplay
similar in style
to
and
the later
gameplay
games.
to the later games. So, hold on. You don't like Western inspired RPGs, but that's a positive for A Link to the Past? What the fuck does that even mean? Like how is that a positive for this game if you don't like those
here's
kinds of
how
games?
here's how here's how I say it. It's on Nintendo, so it's a positive. But if it was
Well,
like any other game,
for Harman's
it
logic,
would have
that's
been
right.
negative.
That's Harman's logic, that's right. But like a Western inspired
Yeah.
RPG. So what is that? That's like Fallout, right? Those are games like
Yeah,
Fallout.
Fallout, like the Elder Scrolls, Baldur's Gate 3,
Okay.
whatever.
So like it's just hurting my brain because how the fuck can he say that's a positive for this game but say it's bad for like Baldur's Gate or like the Elder Scrolls or Fallout or anything like that? Because New Vegas, the only 2 hours I've played of New Vegas is awesome.
Yeah.
New Vegas is fucking
Yeah, I haven't
awesome.
played that. I'm saving like
You need to do it,
April
dude.
for it.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
you need to do that. So
I'm gonna be grinding it in April.
all right, but like I don't understand how he can say that's a positive for this game when
Yeah.
it's literally like, oh my god, I just don't understand. I don't understand. But okay, whatever, I guess.
Right? This is kind of the missing link between the two
Nice
styles of
pun,
gameplay.
dumbass.
And in a lot of ways, it's the best of both worlds, right? You know, I know plenty of people who prefer the NES games. I know people who prefer like the Ocarina style. I know people who prefer the open world style of Breath of the Wild onward, right? Like everybody has their preferences, but I think A Link to the Past is the one that kind of ties all of that together. It's the title that I see most people playing and talking about. It's the most well-known retro title. You know, like there's definitely an audience for stuff in other points of the franchise.
Or like everyone played more than I have. I haven't played that much.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I just. What does he mean by Twilight Princess was popular among normies? Like, did that get like the mainstream into Zelda or
Twilight,
whatever?
like Twilight Princess, did you
Yeah,
say?
yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, that game. That game is. It's actually really good from what I heard.
I heard that one's good. It was Skyward Sword was the one that I heard that was really bad.
Yeah, that one's bad.
I've heard that one was actually
Ignore
pretty
that
bad.
one.
That's what
And the
I
funniest
plan
part
on it.
is it got ported to Switch and Twilight hasn't.
Yeah, that's what I heard, which is surprising.
Is popular with everyone, right? Like, but it feels more and more as if a lot of like people's favorite Zelda games are the ones that they grew up with, right? And a lot of times they don't necessarily play every Zelda game that exists, right? So they don't have the full context as to like what else is out there, right? You know, I know a lot of people who like Link's Awakening who don't really talk about like the Oracle games, for example, because like there was a whole decade between the release of those titles, right? You know, I know people who don't care for Skyward Sword, right? Like I know people who've never played a Link to the Past, Link Between Worlds, despite loving a Link to the Past. Like, there's a very notable generation gap when it comes to a lot of this stuff, where like it feels like this series has gone on so long and has so many like genre defining titles that a lot of people, a lot of fans have completely different ideas as to like what constitutes a great Zelda game. But the one that I think everyone comes back to, the game that I think people first play when they try getting into the wider world of Zelda, when they try experimenting with titles like outside of their wheelhouse, when they try like playing a retro game, you know, when they try playing the one that's considered the best, I feel that like everyone goes for A Link to the Past, and I really don't see myself as being any different. Like I've played this game several times over the past couple of years. I've played Ocarina a couple of times. I played Majora's Mask. I've played like Wind Waker. You know, I started a Twilight Princess playthrough. You know, like I play a lot of Zelda, right?
Well, yeah, you're a Zelda shill. I don't know what else. I don't know what else I would say.
Exactly.
You're just a Zelda shill. That's it. If you see people shitting on Tears of the
That
Kingdom,
literally is it.
you see people shitting on Tears of the Kingdom,
Yeah.
you're gonna defend it to your heart's content. And I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily true about people. Whenever people want to get into retro Zelda, everyone going to A Link to the Past. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I know A Link to the Past is a huge Zelda game, but I don't know if that's the one that everyone turns to. I don't think that's true, but I could be wrong.
Here's the king.
He's probably referring to how people hating Wind Waker for being cartoony and wanted the next game, Twilight Princess, to be more realistic. Maybe he could be referring to that, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't know
People
a lot of
like
Zelda.
Wind Waker.
That's true, they do. I'm not like a big nerd
feel
on
like-
like Zelda lore, so I don't know.
I feel like I feel like it's New Vegas. Like when it comes to Wind Waker,
It's
like
the
at
New
first
Vegas.
people were like, "This is bad." Yeah, like people at first were like, "Man, this is kind of bad," but then like as it grew older, people started appreciating it more.
Gotcha.
Critics, I
Gotcha.
mean, not necessarily just regular people, but critics were like, "Man, this sucks."
Yeah, I gotcha. It could be referring to that.
Yeah.
But I'm not confident enough to say anything
But I
really.
played this one the most, right? It
Yeah,
is
but that's just
the
what I
most
think.
fun to actually play.
Yeah.
You know,
And again, he's not saying how this game is good. He's just saying that he's played it a lot.
Yeah,
He's not describing how it's any good. He's just
Yeah.
saying that he's played it a lot.
That's the
have
issue with
an
Harman's
incredible
this whole
variety of
thing.
dungeons. It
Yeah.
has an
Like he
insane
makes his
weapon
video long, you
lineup. It
think
has,
he's like
Okay.
reviewing every game, but in
Yeah.
reality, he's just like saying, "Oh, it's good because
Yeah.
I said so."
Yeah, right now he's just okay. He's going into it now. He said so far it has variety of dungeons and an insane weapon lineup, which I've never
Yeah.
played. I've never played the game before, so I don't know.
I'm assuming that's probably true. I
I
mean,
was gonna
if
say
everyone likes
I only.
it,
I was gonna say I only have his word to go off of, so I don't know. From what I've seen, A
Yeah.
Link to the Past is basically the Ocarina of Time for the 2D games, aka the Apex.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I hear. So yeah, probably that's
Yeah.
probably true. All right,
This really cool sense of progression. It has the really unique light and dark world.
hold on. Sense of cool sense of progression. I played okay, listen, I tinkered around with the original first Legend of Zelda game. That shit was the
Yeah.
most confusing thing I've ever fucking seen. I have no idea where the hell you're supposed to go. Are you just supposed to explore around until you figure out where to go eventually? Because, I mean, I like exploration, but there has to be a sense of where to go.
Yeah.
Like, there's no sense.
A reason.
You gotta give me a direction to go in. There's no direction to go in
Yeah.
the first Zelda. Like, there's just not.
Like,
So, like,
this is like for me. There's got to be a reason to do the thing. Like for example, if I'm collecting something, why do I need to collect something?
yeah,
Like, what happens if I don't collect this thing?
yeah.
Or if something doesn't happen specifically if I don't collect it, like why do I need to collect it then? You know
Right.
what I mean? And I feel like that's what's missing from the first one. I mean, I know stopping Ganon, but like it's
Yeah.
not very
It's
clear.
yeah. There's nothing clear about it. Before we continue, I gotta hit the restroom. I'll be right back.
I bet. Let me check the comment section. W. Is everybody having a W day? W day, W day. Yeah, that would be fire. A zero mission like remake of like the first game.
Shit. Oh shit! I didn't realize my microphone was off. I'm back.
No, it's fine. It's
All right.
fine.
Tooth meat. What's good? Nintendo should remake the first Zelda game like they did with Metroid Zero Mission. I mean, if that gives us like a clearer like direction of where to go, then yeah, I'm all for it. Like, all right, let's go ahead and continue the video. This stream's getting long
It
enough.
has like iconic moments. It has like it has it all.
Let's grind
really.
this video.
And
Let's lock
Yeah.
it
in.
does feel dated
Yeah,
in
for
a lot
sure.
of ways. But like even now, like I think the game really, really holds up. I think it's really easy to get into. It is one of those Super Nintendo games that I think even today that a lot of younger players can get into and appreciate. And I think that's a big part of what makes this game so special. Like I expect that this is going to be the Zelda game I show my kids one day. And that is a really interesting thing to think about. It's shocking to me
All right. What
that
game is
Super
this?
Metroid cracked did
Super
only cracked the
Metroid.
top 5. You know,
Super Metroid.
like
That's
it's so
not
weird
bad.
to think about because I
like
knew
Super Metroid.
Huh? What about Super? What did
I
you
thought
say?
it was
Sorry.
good.
You thought it was good? Okay. I mean, I believe it's
Yeah.
good. I've never played it personally, so I don't. I probably
Metroid.
haven't played any of these games that are on this list, so I don't know.
These are older games.
Yeah, and I mean, I like
Yeah,
older
you
games.
I mean, look at it. Like, tell me you're a '90s kid without telling me you're a '90s kid.
That's
Like, with
that is
Harman
this
Smith.
that's this list. Yes.
Yeah, literally. All of them are like SNES games. Like over half of them.
Yeah. I hear Super Metroid's good though. I need to give it a try.
It is good.
Samus is my main in Smash, so I think that's an indicator for me
Samus
to give it a
is
try.
W.
Absolutely. All
No
right.
way, she's my main
was
too. Like no cap.
Really?
She's like one of the first characters. I'm like, oh yeah, Samus. I'm gonna clutch up with her.
So should me and you like just have a battle of the Samuses in Smash? We should smash.
I just imagine Dwayne The Rock Johnson's just like, you know,
Right.
Vine boom sound effect.
Right. Super Metroid is awesome. Okay, I'll have to take y'all's
Yeah,
word.
it's fire.
I have to take y'all's word for it and like just play it. Let's see why Harman thinks it's good though.
going to be number 1 or 2, but like it's such an iconic game. It's such like a monumental achievement when it comes to video game storytelling, when it comes to the Metroid-like design, when it comes to like the mechanics, like the general structure, the dark tone, the gorgeous sprite work, right? Like when you think back on this game, it's considered the best ever made. And I suppose this is a list made of like iconic great titles, but like to see this game like make in a top 10 list and not be number 1 is just weird to me. Even though this is my list and like I definitely have thought a lot about how I'm going to rank these games and how I consider them and just how much I value them and stuff like that. And I think back to how much this game means to me and how much time I put into it and how much like I love everything about it. When I think about all of that, like the game is still number 5, right? Like it's so weird to think about to see it only at number 5. But I suppose that just goes to show you just how much value I get out of the games higher than this, because I think this is the game that a lot of people consider to be the pinnacle of Nintendo game design, right?
Well, again, you're just saying it's good because I sunk X amount of time into it. I've played it several times over many years, and this is a huge part of my childhood, and I like everything about it. But that's not explaining. That's not enough to explain why it's so good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you like the game, that's cool. I hear Super Metroid's a good game. Like, Webbs, you like it. Toon likes it. I should probably give it a shot at some point, but oh my god. You gotta go into more detail as to why it's good, Harman.
Yeah.
This might as well be his list of favorite Nintendo games. Yes, it should. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Hey, do you have online Smash? I think I said earlier that I stopped playing online.
Okay.
I stopped paying for online Smash. So that's unfortunate that I probably won't be able to play online with you guys, but I just don't use my Switch a whole lot, so that's why I stopped paying for online.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Understandable.
Okay, this I guess I can kind of see what he means by pinnacle of Nintendo game design, because just looking at the gameplay here, it looks very like reminiscent of like the classic Super Mario Bros. Like that side scroll, like that like the side scroller platformer. That's like what everyone thinks of when they think of like 80s or 90s Nintendo game design.
Well, it's different. You have a whole map to explore. It's kind of like you know the term Metroidvania.
Yeah, that's where that came from.
Yeah, that's what it comes from. Yeah. So you go back and forth a lot. When you unlock something, you go back and
I'm sure there's definitely more to it, but I definitely. Yeah, like I said earlier, I need to give this game a try.
So many people classify this as the best game ever made and the best game on Super
Nintendo. Yeah,
Nintendo,
definitely.
Wait, who? Hold on.
So many people classify this as the best game ever made and the best game on Super Nintendo, which
I've never heard anybody say that.
Say what?
Okay,
he
said that he's seen people classify Super Metroid as the best game ever made and possibly the best game on Super Nintendo. I think I've heard more people.
Maybe Super Nintendo.
Maybe Super Nintendo. Actually, I don't know about that. I've heard more people say that Donkey Kong Country is the best SNES game, and that Majora's Mask is arguably the best game ever made, or Ocarina of Time, either one.
Yeah.
I've heard people say either of those games are probably the best one. I haven't people say that about Super Metroid. Because, well, listen, I don't want to say this. I don't think Metroid is like a niche title, but I don't hear a lot of people talk about it. That's my thing, is that I don't think it's niche. I think for Nintendo it's popular, but I don't hear a lot of people really discuss it that much. So I wouldn't say I've heard a lot of people say it's one of the best ever made, but I've heard people say that it's really good, so I guess that's it. Like
that's what. Yeah, same. Like, I've heard maybe best Super Nintendo. I don't even think I've heard that, but I have heard Like it's really one of the best Super Nintendo games, but
It's
not best
one of
game ever
them,
made.
not the best. I've heard them say it's one of them,
Not
but
even
not.
one of the best.
Yeah, no.
Well,
I've
for
heard people
me,
say it's
anyways.
good. Yeah, yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
Really do agree with in a lot of ways. Uh, it's there's no denying the game is a masterpiece,
okay.
and
Care to elaborate?
for me, it's
Nope.
it's a game that comes with a lot of memories. This is a
He
game that
just
I
goes,
could
nope.
not beat
Yeah.
as a kid, that I really struggled
Trust
with,
me,
that
bro.
I
That's
really
his
had to
whole
spend a
thing.
lot of
Like I
time
said,
with. I
it's
think
trust me,
more
bro.
than any
For
other
real.
Super Nintendo game I owned, I was kind of scared of this game, honestly. Every time I would pop it in, I couldn't get very far in it, and I would struggle with it.
Well, hold on. I think if you see any monster like this as like an 8-year-old kid, you're kind of gonna be scared of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like I watched Ghost Rider as a kid, and I was scared of some of the stuff that happened in that movie. like, like whenever Ghost Rider did the
Yeah.
penance, whenever he did the penance stare, that was something that actually scared me because I just saw their eyes just like I don't know, something about it just scared me. I don't know why, it just scared me as
I
a
haven't
kid.
seen Ghost Rider. I haven't
You
seen
haven't
Ghost
seen
Rider.
Ghost Rider? I mean,
I might see it.
looking back at it now as an adult, it's not good. It's not very good. But
It probably isn't, but I won't
it's
watch
not.
it.
I mean,
Probably.
I liked it as a kid, so I look back at it with nostalgia. But I'm not going to be like Harman and say, "Oh, it's one of
Yeah.
the best comic book movies ever made." It's
Yeah,
not good. I'm
one
just
of the
going to
best
tell you
movies
straight up,
ever made.
it's not good. But it,
Oh, he
as
hates.
a
Oh, by the way, he hates comics. By the way,
he
Manga is
does.
superior.
Okay, well that explains
Yeah.
why he hates
He hates
superhero
comic book
games.
heroes and stuff.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
Why? Because Arlo likes it.
No, I think it's again that whole Japanese superiority thing. He probably likes manga.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so he said that he also said that he it was hard for him as a kid and he couldn't really beat it, which I mean, I think
It
we
is
all
pretty hard.
I think we all had
Yeah.
games like that growing up. Again, I've never played this game, so I
Growing
can't really
up,
say. But like we
every
all had
game is
games
hard
that we
now.
struggled with as a kid and we just couldn't beat. I mean, I've revisited games from my childhood that I can't even beat now just because it's kind of hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I like mine. A game I can't beat that I couldn't beat as a child. I can't really, nothing really comes to mind. Because usually if I couldn't beat a game, I would just like drop it and forget about it as a
Right.
child.
Right.
The game, ooh, there is a game. It's kind of a niche game. It's big in Japan, but it's
Okay.
called The Legendary Starfy.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
It was fire. And I got to the final level, and there's a final boss fight. This is the final level, final boss fight. The boss itself is not hard, okay?
Yeah.
And then there's a button mashing segment,
Oh,
and I could never beat it.
I gotcha.
It's like there's two button mashing parts. The first one, which is whatever, it's like the hardest button mashing mini game I have played ever, and
gotcha.
I haven't gone back to try to beat it yet. But like, I remember like some years go by, I come back and then I replay the game because the game is really good. I replay it, and then I get to that part. Like a little bit older, I retry and I still can't beat it. Drop it. I'm probably gonna replay it recently and see if I can beat it now, but I'll probably won't.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. You should probably do that. All right.
I will try, but
all right.
I'm not. I'm no better at button mashing than I was back then.
Right.
Every time I would pop it in, I couldn't get very far in it, and I would struggle with it, and like slowly make my way through it, and eventually I managed to discover Kraid, and I managed to like move on from there. You know, like by the time I got to Fantoon, I think I was at the point where I could get through the entire thing, but that took a lot of time. It took a lot of effort. And the more I think about it, the more I like really value that experience. It's really unlike any other game experience I personally have ever had. And I understand that it's kind of a personal thing. Most people, I think, look back on this game mostly because of its stellar gameplay, but like I look back on this game and think about like how rough it was for me playing through it for the first time. Like the time I got stuck in that cavern in Brinstar that you have to wall jump out of. Like when I think back to like the time I got stuck in this room full of side hoppers. Actually, that's happened a couple of times because I couldn't figure out how to get them off me. Right? When I think back to fighting Kraid for the first time, or like finally beating Mother Brain and escaping the planet, like it was just a monumental achievement. It's like one of those things that just means more to me than anything. And I think a big part of it is because I was so young, but there's no denying that the reason the game had such an impact on me was its overall quality, right? This game is stunning. It's hard to believe this ran on a Super Nintendo, right? Like for a long time,
How is that hard to believe? It looks like every other Super Nintendo title.
Exactly.
That's not even that's not
like one of the first.
That's not a shocking thing.
Games. Okay, continue.
No, I'm
it's
sorry.
Like one of the first games. It's fine. It's not one. It's like one of the first games I think of when I think Super Nintendo. I think of Metroid and Mario.
Yeah, I think of like Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country was probably the most demanding title for that console.
Actually, have you heard of Star Fox?
Oh yeah, true. That's it. Shit.
That it was literally 3D.
Yeah.
That was fire.
Yeah.
I'm still impressed by that game.
Oh my god, man. How is that surprising that it ran on that console? You know that they had to like lower the resolution or something for like what was it, like The Witcher 3 or Skyrim or something, just to get it to run on the Switch?
Actually, Skyrim on Switch is not bad. It's actually really good, but The Witcher 3 took a beating.
Yeah, I think like for like most titles or something that they're porting over, they had to lower the resolution just so it could be playable on the Switch.
I think Skyrim was just like they got just right, you know what I mean? Where it was just like
it's got that sweet spot.
30 FPS, like it's a smooth 30 FPS, and it still looks really good. So
it's playable at least.
Yeah. I mean, 30 FPS isn't ideal, but it doesn't dip at all. It hasn't dipped for me, anyways.
Well, that's good.
So,
but like, I don't understand what he's saying. That's not shocking at all that would run on a Super Nintendo. Because I think the Super Nintendo could handle pretty much everything that they made for it at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know why he's like... I don't know.
It's funny
Super
now.
Metroid running on Super Nintendo. Like what? I'm like, of course.
And it's so funny too because he's also just like, why isn't all the major games coming over to the Switch? It's because the Switch can't fucking handle those games. Yeah. The hardware is not built for it.
It's because they can't run them. I mean, look at
The Witcher 3.
What was it that? Not just The Witcher 3, but like look at what was that game that came out recently that everyone was making fun of?
Mortal Kombat 1?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 1, yeah.
Yeah, that was... Oh my god, that's so funny. Oh, man. Okay, let's see what else he says.
I saw this as, like, the pinnacle of 2D sprite work. And in a lot of ways, I still kind of think that. I'm sure there's, like, some modern game that kind of surpasses it, but when it comes to like the atmosphere, when it comes to the mood, when it comes to the general structure, the game is relatively unmatched. I compare this game to other more modern Metroid likes. When I compare it to like Hollow Knight, when I compare it to like the Castlevania games, even when I compare it to Dread, the game just hits notes.
I don't know why I'm thinking of
no other game
X right now,
even comes close to matching. It's kind of embarrassing.
Your favorite rapper,
the genre was so defined
XXX
by this one title.
Tentacion.
And
Tentacion.
The game is so ubiquitous that it's one of those sacred cow things that I don't think anybody who wants to be taken seriously in this community would ever try trash talking.
I don't know what I'm thinking of.
I've never seen anyone try like talking badly about this game.
This is how entertaining Harman Smith is. I'm thinking of like just random crap.
Because what he's saying is like just not really relevant.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
like I haven't seen anybody talk
good.
badly about this game. Like, it's Super Metroid. I don't think you're gonna hear anybody talk badly about it unless they have a hate boner for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not
Or they
relevant.
just personally don't like it. Like,
Yeah,
that's about it, though.
it's just not relevant.
But like,
Oh, I just
Also,
love.
who the fuck is Sean Malmstrom?
I love the people who. Who is that?
Sean Malmstrom? I have no idea. I could probably Google him really quick.
Sean Malmstrom. Sure.
Sean Malmstrom. Condemns Super Mario Bros. Is he just like a Nintendo hate guy or something like that?
He might be. The Nintendo haters are, well, they're not as cringe as the fanboys, but like, sometimes they can be super cringe.
Super Mario Bros. Oh, it's the
Like,
top
they're
result.
like,
Top result is a Harman Smith video. Sean Malmstrom condemns Super Mario Bros. Wonder, despite, and then something else. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was saying like the extreme Nintendo haters are almost as cringe as the fanboys, because like they're like,
Yeah.
Nintendo doesn't make anything good. Okay,
It's
there's
like-
valid reasons to not like Nintendo. Okay?
But like, have you
Like,
played their
the whole
games?
emulation thing.
But like,
Yeah,
have you
their
played their
okay,
games?
like, say what you will about their business practices, but their games are quality. Yeah.
They are fire. They are really good.
Like, yeah, their games have a consistent level of quality, right?
It's
like-
facts.
I can't really think of a game recently that was like super bad. Like that was like to where like I was like, okay, this is garbage.
Yeah, I haven't either, honestly.
Like recently, like their games have been like good to like mid. Like the worst game they released this year was mid.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
Just
know.
bad, you know.
Right.
But
I mean, there is one thing I will say about Nintendo with Super Mario Bros. Wonder is like, where was the marketing for that game? I saw that it was nominated for Game of the Year, and I didn't even know it came out this year. Like, where was the marketing for it? I didn't even know it was a thing this year.
yeah, their marketing things are awful now. Like, I've only seen like the only way. That's why I'm watching the directs. Like the Nintendo directs is the only way to know what's coming out, because they don't market their games at all anymore.
Right.
And that sucks because Nintendo directs are boring now.
I believe that.
Like, it used to be like a major thing when a direct would come out, but now they're like super boring.
I believe that actually.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see him continue.
Farming simulators and all.
When I see this game in
Yeah.
action, when I see other people play it, when I see other people talk about it, like, it's one of the only games on this list that has like a universally positive reception, and to me, I think that's really special. This channel has really been defined a lot by.
And that's not special for any of the games that you hate on. Like anything that has a super popular reception, or positive reception, like Elden Ring, like Baldur's Gate 3, like hell, even Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand what this logic is. Like, it's special that Super Metroid has a super positive reception. That's not positive, like super positive reception for the Souls series, for like Bloodborne, for like Elden Ring, for like fucking Ultra Kill, like for any other game that you can think of that has a super popular reception. That's not a positive thing for you, or special in any way. I think Baldur's Gate 3 being the game that it is, having like the amount of success it did this year is it's massive. That's super fucking like special. That's a special thing.
Crazy. And like, okay, I'm not saying like I've learned, especially this year, that just because a game has negative reception doesn't mean it's bad necessarily. But like, at the same time, it has a good reception for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not because like it's not because like, and then on the other side, there's also games that are like crazy, like that have good reception that are bad. I'm talking
Yeah.
specifically about gaming journalism, but
Oh yeah, of course.
like The Last of Us 2, for example. But we're not getting into that. But
Yeah, we won't get into that.
but like at the same time, just because a game has popular reception doesn't mean it's like bad.
Yeah. Or doesn't
It
mean it's
has
good.
all
It
that
doesn't mean it's
popular
good either.
reception for a reason.
Yeah. Or it also doesn't mean it's good either.
Yeah, that too.
Or it just
Again,
doesn't mean that, or
Part
just
2.
doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you will like it personally. Like
Yeah, exactly. It's all opinion based.
it is
Like,
for
yeah,
sure.
if you like a game that no one else likes, you're gonna get called. Someone's gonna say that you're sucking off Todd Howard or something.
Yeah, that too.
But like, yeah, but like, you're just gonna have to learn to take those punches. But the thing is, Harlan Smith is a fanboy. That's why.
Yeah,
That's why
that's
we
the
make fun of
problem.
him, because like it's not that he likes a game that no one likes. It's that he hates games that are only because they're not Nintendo.
Yeah, and his mind, he's just so close-minded. He like closes it off to like
Yeah, he's
what anyone else has to
closed-minded.
say. All right.
People just crying
Yeah,
a lot about like
he's very
Nintendo games and their
closed-minded.
products and their
He
hardware or
is
whatever.
And so
It's
that's
such a
why
different
no one takes what he
experience, like,
says seriously. And he
Yeah.
also isn't good at criticizing or reviewing games, because I mean, yeah.
Yeah, like
and defined a lot by people just crying a lot about like Nintendo games and their products and their hardware or whatever. It's such a different experience to talk about a game that everybody universally loves. Having recently had the honor of playing through Star Fox 64 again
okay.
on Nintendo Switch Online's online service, I really began to appreciate just what this game means to me and just how good it actually is, because
I've heard
always
it's
been
good.
very vocal about this series
What
and its
game?
reception.
Star Fox 64.
I've seen a lot of people over the
Yeah,
past year,
that
especially
game.
after
I
the release of
haven't
Star
played
Fox
it,
Zero,
but the same. I haven't
try
played it,
and
but I heard
act
it's
as if
good.
Star Fox is
Star
some
Fox
like
is like one of those
stale,
franchises where
outdated.
it's like I kind of forget about it. I forget
Yeah.
it exists because Nintendo like doesn't care about it, and so of course we all forget it exists.
Yeah,
But
so do
like,
I.
when I do remember, it's like fine. It's just like a spaceship shooter game.
Yeah.
Like, that
Which I
was
mean
good.
seems fun on its own, but like I never gave a shit about Star Fox, so again, I haven't played
Yeah.
this, so I don't really I don't know what to say about it. But let's just see what other points he raises.
Can't innovate,
Yeah.
that can't do anything new, that needs to move past being a simple rail shooter, right? I've seen so many people praise stuff like Assault and kind of downplaying 64 and all of its accomplishments. There's this very strange narrative that these kind of arcade rail shooters would not be able to succeed in today's market. But seeing how much I enjoy playing Star Fox 64,
I meant to pause it earlier, but what he said about how people say that like its game design is outdated and like how it fails to innovate on anything and how it should like move past being a simple rail shooter. I mean, for the kind of game it is, what else are you supposed to innovate on? Like
Yeah, how do
for
you
the kind of
innovate
games,
on a
how
rail
do you
shooter?
innovate off of that? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not a game designer. I don't have any ideas. But like, how the hell are you supposed to innovate off of something like this? Like, how do you make more?
That's the thing.
You don't. Yeah, you
That's
just.
the neat part.
Yeah,
Unless you want to, you have to make an entirely different game. They actually tried to innovate like twice. There was Star Fox Zero
Yeah,
and
I
Star
remember
Fox Commander for the DS and Wii U respectively.
Oh my god.
And no one liked those because they were too different.
So for the kind of game it is,
The
why not
thing-
just like
okay,
release
okay.
a sequel with the same gameplay?
Yeah. Okay, so like, okay. It's the same thing with that Harman brought up with the Soulsborne games. Like, why would, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Right? It ain't, but like, I'm breaking my mind. Like, why would I want something different if I like what's working now? If I like the on-rail stuff, why would I want something that's different? That's why the other Star Fox games failed, because they were too different. and
Yeah,
also like
exactly.
what they did was not good.
Yeah.
Oh, Star Fox Adventures as well, the one on the
Okay.
GameCube.
Yeah, I remember
Though
that.
that one has a small fan base.
That's true. This might be a
But
weird
yeah.
critique, but this has been the most safest list of Nintendo games I've ever seen. Like, this is just the most popular Nintendo
Yeah,
games
yeah,
for
it's
each
just like it's
series.
just like
For real, though. For real.
Yeah.
Like, this is just
Yeah,
popular
like,
Nintendo titles.
yeah.
And I mean,
No, no, this-
if you like these games, like you
Yeah.
know, like a lot, and you're passionate about them, and you like them growing up, that's fair. I have my own list
Yeah.
of like favorite games that I played growing up, but like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Same.
I'm not gonna shy away from like I know like you know like big popular titles that were like revolutionary or like anything like
Yeah, of
that.
course.
But like
This list is
this
just,
list is just it feels like a gaming journalist of like top 10 best games in the
like,
90s or whatever.
Yeah, like number 10.
Yeah.
The Last of Us Part 2.
For real. It might work as a VR game. I mean,
Let's
it
see,
might.
what's the background?
It might actually. Like, if you
Oh,
turn
yeah,
Star Fox into a
I
VR
think
game,
there
it
are
might actually
VR
work.
games, yeah.
That would be really cool.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's what Star Fox Zero was trying to do, but without VR. You know, with the Wii U gamepad, you use the
Oh,
Wii U
God.
gamepad to like
Yeah.
control it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tried to do something similar, of course, without VR, but you know, it obviously failed. I bet if it was a VR game, though, it would have been a lot better, I think.
Yeah, probably.
But like,
Seeing how
yeah, as a VR game, Star Fox would work very well.
It would. It would.
Yeah,
well this game is remembered, seeing how popular it is today,
yeah,
seeing
though.
how
But you're right. This
I put
sounds
more
like a
time into
gaming
it.
journalist made something.
It does.
then almost
Yeah, well,
any
a
other
Nintendo
N64
game
the
journalist
only
specifically.
And again, he's just saying that this is probably the most time I've ever put into a N64 game. I'm like, huh? Okay, like
Mario 64 is like, am I a joke to you? Or
for
Ocarina
real,
of Time?
for real though, dude. Like, oh my god,
Are we a joke
this
to
guy,
you?
this
Mario
guy,
64 is like one of the few games I've 100%.
really?
Yeah,
Oh my
I don't
god,
100% games that much. That's how much I love Mario 64.
it's a great game. And I mean,
Yeah,
like, he's just
yeah.
saying it's good because I've spent a lot of time into it. Like, okay,
What is that? Like, buddy, your list
Like, why
has
does
to be
that
like,
matter?
tell me why you think it's good besides, yeah.
tell me why the
Besides,
game is
I played it
good.
a lot, so it's good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, and we're
exception
not
being,
saying do like a whole
I
like
believe
hour-long segment, like, oh, it's good because you know, bring it out. I
Because,
mean, like,
yeah.
at least give us is like, I like you could be like, for example, let me think of Star Fox. Okay, I
yeah,
like the controls of the ship. The ship controls very well. Like when I move, like when I do an action on the controller, it immediately just does it. It does
Yeah,
the
it's
action
very-
I want. The controls are very easy to learn. You know, something
Yeah.
like that.
yeah. Like
You know?
the controls are very
Instead, he's just
responsive.
like,
It,
oh,
or like it reminds me
Yeah.
of an older title, but done better or something like that.
yeah.
But
yeah,
all he's saying is
instead
just
he's
like,
oh,
I spent a
like
lot
it
of time
because
into
I-
it. It's good for
Yeah.
reasons X, Y, and Z, and doesn't elaborate. Like,
Yeah, he's like,
It's
it's
like-
good because like, and then also he's like, well, people say, and it's just like no one says it. Either makes it
Yeah.
up, or it's like a very small group of people that say it.
yeah, or like just something that nobody. Yeah, like going back to the Super Metroid thing.
Yeah.
Like, I've never heard anybody say it's the best game on Super Nintendo or the best game ever made. Like, I've never heard anybody say that.
And like, I thought, like, and everyone loves Star Fox 64.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
what I hear.
So like, what was he saying about how people were angry that it wasn't innovative? Like,
hold on, soon. Actually,
he's
you know,
the king of strawman.
he is. Actually, you know what this feels like? A Watch Mojo list.
Yeah,
That's right. It really
it's like,
does.
Number 10.
It does. It does feel like a Watch Mojo list. All right, let's get through this so we can get to the next game.
Yeah.
when I look at
Yeah.
this game,
You
when
can
I
just,
think
like,
back
start,
to how I
I
played
guess,
through it
skimming if
thousands
you
of
want.
times
It's fine.
since I was
Let's
a
see.
kid, when I think back
Okay,
to like
it
just how well made it is and just how much room for improvement there is.
Is this
Like,
also Star Fox 64?
it really
Oh
is
my
a
god, I think it
shame
is.
that it took so long to
He
get
loves that
such a
game.
high
Is this
quality
it?
sequel.
It
You can
looks
tell
like
he,
it,
you can tell
yeah.
he put
Because
hours into
this
it.
really is an IP that should have thrived on the GameCube, should have thrived on the Wii, should have thrived on the Wii U. Like, this
The only
really
problem is
should
that the
have
games they made
been
for it weren't
a
good.
Nintendo mainstay
Like,
franchise, because Star Fox 64 in a lot of ways is better
Bruh.
than a lot of major entries in established Nintendo properties. I would
I
say
don't
this
know.
is
Someone
better
has
than any
already
Pikmin game. I would say
volunteered
this is
to
better
use
than the
Elon
vast
Musk's
bulk of
chip.
Metroid games. I would say this is better
That's
than like
awesome.
Mario
It's a
games or
Playboy
like
model.
oh god.
Kayla, Caden or something like that has
Okay.
volunteered to be the first person to get Elon Musk's new brain chip implanted in her.
Oh, all right.
That's
Not good,
But
but all
Elon
right.
Musk is gonna go like Elon Musk is gonna be like execute order 66.
Oh
He's
wait,
gonna
I think he
execute order
said.
66 on everybody.
He said, yeah, that's true. He said something about this being better than Metroid or Mario. I gotta hear this.
hey, this is better than any Pikmin game. I would
Metroid
say this
or
is better
bro,
than
what?
the vast
Is he
bulk
still
of
talking about
Metroid
64
games. I would
Star
say
Fox?
any
Yes, he's on Star Fox. Hold on.
Pikmin game. I
Oh,
would
just
say
the
this is
original game
better
now?
than the vast bulk of Metroid games. I would say it's
Or is it
better
still
than
64?
like Mario games or like a lot of titles out there. Like,
Oh my god. He straight up said it's better than any Pikmin game. It's better than the bulk of Metroid games or Mario games. There are a lot of titles out there.
That is
Like Blood has never played Super Mario 64.
Yeah, then play Super Mario 64, Metroid Prime, Metroid Dread. I can't really speak on Pikmin.
That's
Never
weird
really
that he
played
would say that it's better than the bulk of Metroid titles when Super Metroid is on this list.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I mean, granted, this is above Super Metroid, but Super Metroid is on the list
Yeah,
too.
still.
Like, exactly, feels like an AI wrote it. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It really does. Like he's struggling to read a Chat GPT generated list.
Exactly.
Like, oh my god. Okay, wait, let's start getting through this.
it really is a title that kind of stand on its own as like an all-time classic. And unlike most other Nintendo properties, like it's been stagnant ever since like obtaining that status. Like it's weird to see how beloved Star Fox 64 is, how much like I praise the game, how much I think back fondly on it, how much I still play this game today, how much mileage I've gotten out of this game, how this was an icon of the Nintendo 64, like the reason to own a console, right? Like it's so strange to look back on all of that and kind of realize that like 64 is where it all ended. Adventures was disappointing for a lot of people. Assault was disappointing. Command was disappointing. And like Zero, despite being the best sequel we've ever gotten, was unfortunately
Hold on.
pretty heavily.
What the fuck? How was Star Fox Zero the best sequel to 64?
What did he just say?
He said that Zero was the best sequel to Star Fox 64.
No.
Yeah, I hear that
Wrong.
was probably one of the worst games on the Wii U, right?
Yeah. It was not good.
I heard it was.
I played it when I had a Wii U. It was not good.
I heard it was bad. Oh my god, I didn't.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
The only thing it had was it looked good, and that's it. That's the only thing it really
Yeah.
had. It was
Okay.
just boring.
Oh my
To
god.
quote-
But I also
to
heard that it
quote
was
the
like. Sorry. Go ahead.
Continue.
No,
You can go first.
Okay. I was just gonna say that I heard it was pretty bad because of the controls with the Wii U gamepad.
Yeah. That. To quote Heels versus Babyface, so freaking boring. That's what I think.
Ugh.
The Giga.
The
I can't even
Giga
say that
Chad.
without dying.
Oh
The
my
Giga
God.
Chad Hill versus Garfield versus Babyface.
The controls were awful. Yeah, that's what I hear about it. I never owned a Wii U, so I don't know. But
Don't.
I don't plan on getting one either.
Unless
so.
you plan on modding it. If you plan on modding it, then it's really good for modding. But besides that, don't.
Right.
It's not worth it.
Well, okay.
I sold mine for my Series S because most of the good Wii U games were ported to Switch later. Because
Really?
Nintendo, again, to quote Heels versus Babyface, is unoriginal. Didn't you say something like that? I don't remember.
I don't know.
You know, modern day Californian crap and stuff like that.
I don't remember much from Star Fox Zero. I don't think anyone does.
I almost forgot it existed.
I don't think anyone does. Like, aside from 64, I think it's like the only other Star Fox game I know exists. And that's it.
Yeah.
Downplayed by the community. Even now, I don't think people really appreciate it for being the true evolution of the 64 formula that we've all been waiting for since '97, right?
That's just... I don't think that's true.
You know,
What
Zero
did he
doesn't
say this
quite live
time?
up to what
No, it's just that he's saying that, like, I don't think people appreciate it for being the true successor that we've been waiting for since '97. Like, I don't think that's true, but okay.
Star Fox Zero or 64?
Zero.
No.
Yeah, no, that's just not
64
true.
managed
No.
to accomplish with its
People
unique
wanted a
visual
true
style, with
successor,
its,
and that just
with its
wasn't
mission
it. It wasn't
structure.
it, Chief.
But another
I
way,
do
Zero
hope
is
that
better
they
than
bring
this,
Star
with, like,
Fox
Zero doesn't
back on the
Hold on,
Switch.
wait. He's gonna bring up a point on why Zero is better than 64.
Okay, let's hear this.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
quite live up to what 64
Okay.
managed to accomplish with its
Better be the
unique
best
visual
point.
style, with its mission structure. But in other ways, Zero is better than this, with like its mechanics, with its controls, with its boss fight.
No way, he just fucking said that.
What did he say?
He said,
Brody did not.
I said,
Don't
Blood
know.
said, and I quote, it's better with its mechanics, its controls, and its boss fights.
What version was he playing? I want to play that version.
I want to
Where
play
it
that
actually
version
controlled
too. Where the controls were good.
And it wasn't boring.
For real. Okay. Well, I can't say that. Again, I can't say that. I've never played the game, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I never even owned a Wii U,
Okay,
but just
if there's a Switch version, if there's a Switch version that will come out, I'll play it and I'll see because it surely will have better controls. But I highly doubt they'll do that.
But were the I don't know if you ever got that far, but were the boss fights good in it at least?
I did not get that far.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Like Zero
I
does.
think it would have been
feel
way
like
better,
a
like I
true-
said, if it was like, it would have been a lot better if the controls were better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If the controls were better, I think I would have stuck around
I was gonna say
a little
if the game is
a little longer.
yeah, if the controls are bearable and the game is playable, then you'll stick around for it a lot more, definitely.
Yeah, so if they do port it to Switch, I might pick it up.
All right.
Evolution to the formula in a lot of ways, and it's such a shame that it
What
never
version did he play?
really got credit for that.
I think there's only one version.
But like in a lot of ways, 64 has become such a legendary title that
the Wii U one, yay.
I'm not sure that
But
a
yeah, it was
sequel
not
could
good.
have been possible. When I
For
look
the
at what
controls
happened with
alone,
Metroid,
I didn't even bother
how like
sticking
they
around.
produced
So.
such an incredible experience with Metroid Prime, and how effectively that was written off. in
Like
spite
I
of
would have stuck
legit
around if
being one of the best
not even
games.
if the gameplay itself was good. I would have stuck around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would have dealt with the back controls, like because Mario 64 DS is a good example. Like the control, it doesn't control well as 64, right?
Yeah.
But like I still stuck around because it was a good game. You know?
Yeah.
But like it wasn't good enough to where I would stick around and try my hardest to mess with these controls. Yeah.
Yeah. He must have had two more hidden eyes to truly be able to stare at two screens at the same time. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because you have to hold it with the gamepad.
Yeah, because at least, I mean,
yeah,
I was going to say, at least with the DS, you're looking at two screens at the same time. But for the Wii U gamepad, you're looking at the TV and not paying attention to your gamepad screen. So, like,
yeah.
it's just stupid. I actually think I remember beating the game. Oh my god, if you beat the game, you're a true soldier.
You're a legend.
Oh god, I think the dual
You're a
screens are coming
legend.
back to me. Yeah, that's accurate. That sounds accurate. All right.
This
He
is
said
what- this
he
is what I
said
have to
something
say to
about he said something about Metroid Prime. If you wanna
Metroid. If he
Good.
insulted Metroid Prime,
We'll see
I'm
what he
about to
says.
Go ham on this.
He said let's see. He said that Zero never got any credit for being the quote-unquote true successor to 64, Star Fox 64.
Yeah.
So let's see what he says.
64 has become such a legendary title that
64 is a legendary title. Fair.
I'm not sure that a sequel could have been possible.
Not sure that a
When I look
sequel
at what
could have been
happened with
possible.
Metroid, how like
Look
they
what happened with
produced
Metroid.
an incredible experience.
They produced
with
an
Metroid Prime and
Metroid
how
Prime
effectively that was written off. In spite
If Metroid Prime was effectively written off,
of a legit,
in spite of
being one of the
legit
best games ever made.
quote being one of the best games ever made.
It's not been one of the best games ever made, but it is really freaking good.
I heard
Like, it's one of the games where, like,
I heard positive reception about Metroid Prime whenever it first came out. Like
it's good. And
I
like,
heard it
it's
was
one of those
good.
games where, like, you know, those games where you're like stuck on and you're not good at, but you still play it because you like it. It's really
Yes.
good. Yeah, that's what Metroid Prime is to me.
God, he must
Like,
really
I'm
like
not,
Star
like-
Fox 64. My God.
I'm stuck. I'm like stuck right now on Metroid Prime, but I love it and still like come back occasionally and just to try to get out of it because I love Metroid Prime.
I got
Metroid
you.
Prime is so good.
Right.
I got
Like when I
you.
look back on that, like I think to myself,
Like, what is he
would it
smoking?
have been
Exactly.
possible to follow up on 64?
Well,
like-
the thing is, they tried to follow up on 64, but it just. I mean, I think a sequel could have been possible if they stuck to the same formula, but like
Yeah.
they just tried to innovate
Yeah,
off
just
of
keep
it,
it the same.
and it just didn't
Yeah.
work. Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, exactly. It would have been. I think it would have been good.
Very
like,
similar.
Zero on the DS. I think it would have
Yeah,
been way better for
that
the
would have been
DS.
that would have been better. I think if that actually makes me think, was it initially designed for the DS and they just ported it over to Wii U?
Maybe I don't know. Or the 3DS.
Yeah.
Because DS actually did get a Star Fox game, but I mean like the 3DS. I
Yeah.
wonder because the 3DS actually did get like a remake of Star Fox 64. So like that's what 3DS got. But I wonder if like if
Yeah.
it can't. I wonder if it was supposed to come out on 3DS maybe. But then
I
they were
mean,
like,
maybe.
well, let's do it on the Wii U because that would be cool. And yeah,
Yeah.
but it
That
wasn't
would've
cool.
Yeah.
Like, in a lot of ways, it feels like anything they would have come up with would have been a disappointment. Like maybe in some way, shape, or form, having this game stand on its own.
Hold
and
on, I
having,
gotta
like,
go
fans
eat,
like
but
me-
you can continue watching. I'll be back.
Okay.
You're just gonna
alright.
have to. You have to catch me up.
I definitely will, for sure. All right.
just endlessly replay it over and over again, and like,
Yeah, let me
and,
back
like
up.
maybe in some way, shape, or form, having this game stand on its own and having like fans like me just endlessly replay it over and over again, and like knowing everything about it, every intricacy, every secret, every enemy placement, like on both difficulties, right? You know, like when you spend so much time with a game because there's no real sequel, you really start to understand its value and just how
I mean,
it's truly a unique product, something that just that nothing can ever really replicate. And in a lot of ways, I think Star Fox 64 is the best on-rail shooter ever made. You know,
probably, but you also have to understand the same exact thing, where there's no true sequel and you can understand its value. It didn't take very long for people to experience that with Bloodborne, yet you are not going to give it that same treatment. Like, you're not going to give Bloodborne that same treatment just because you have a hate boner for fucking for FromSoft. So, oh my god, it's just, dude. Like, okay, Star Fox 64 might be the best rail shooter ever made. Yeah, maybe. I haven't played many rail shooters, so I can't speak on that, but like, nobody's gonna give it. You're not gonna give. He must love the sequel for desperation. Yeah, he must. He must, because. God. I don't know, man. He's hurting my brain.
Like I think back to what
Fuck.
everything this game did with its presentation, with its like controls, with like all the things you could do, its unique boss fights, like the multiple endings. Like I think back to all of that,
Again,
and I just
Bloodborne.
think to myself that like, yeah, this is a monumental achievement in video games. This is the defining experience of Nintendo 64. This is one of those games that's like stood the test of time to the point where like it really feels like it hasn't aged all that well, all that badly at all, right? Like sure you can complain about the sprite work and like, the length of the levels and like the fact that you have to play it in one sitting or whatever, but it's in a lot of ways this game has never really been topped in this genre. Like nothing has even really come close. Nothing's really ever tried, but this
I don't know.
was
I
a
haven't played it. I
product
can't
of its
speak on it.
time. Like this is a kind of game that doesn't really get made anymore. And as a result of
Also
it,
doesn't
like the
explain why it's
genre
really
kind
all
of
that
peaked
good.
here. There's
So
never really been a successful follow-up that
you're just saying
really
it's
managed
good
to
and there
take
wasn't a successful
the
follow-up.
ideas established
Okay.
by this game and
But you're still not explaining why it's really all that good. What? You're just saying it's good and that it hasn't been topped. What makes it good? Please elaborate, Harman. You're not explaining why it's good. Oh my god, this dude is hurting my fucking brain. I'm almost done with the
improve
video,
on
though.
them.
Let's
And
get through
in
it.
some ways, that's a shame, but I suppose in others, that just is a testament to its overall quality. It really is phenomenal seeing just how well this game has stood the test of time.
You're acting like we fucking played it before, dude. Oh my god. Not everybody here has played it. I myself haven't played it. Bro, what about the Panzer Dragon? I don't know what the Panzer Dragon is. But I'm assuming that's a boss in Star Fox 64. I have no idea.
I don't think any video game on this list has left such an impact on me creatively as the Bayonetta
Oh.
IP did. I think Bayonetta, more than anything, kind of established the direction my books would take. It kind of established my love for this kind of like exaggerated action franchise. It kind of established the things I wanted to make, the kind of characters I wanted to write, the kind of things I wanted to happen in my books. And even today, I can still feel its influence. Every time I play this game, I find myself shocked at how well made it is, how well animated it is, how well directed the cutscenes are, like the personality, like the style. Really, no other action game really comes close to this. This really is on a caliber beyond that of any other game I've ever played.
Alright, well, I guess that's fair to assume. I guess. I don't know. Again, I've never played Bayonetta, so I have no idea what to look for in his arguments here. But it just seems to me like he's just like, with the lore of the game, he wanted to take influence from that and put it into his books. And he just, again, he's just saying he likes it for the sake of that it's good when he's not really elaborating on how it's good. So God, I don't know, man. I don't know. He's just saying like it raised my expectations for the action genre. Like, okay. It's an on-rail shooter game originally released on Saturn, but I bet he didn't even bother to compare the two games. Okay. Yeah, he probably didn't probably didn't bother to compare them because he doesn't do any more research on anything outside of Nintendo or bother to like, play games that are released elsewhere because he just he doesn't want to play on anything that's not Nintendo. I've heard people say that he claims he has a super powerful gaming PC when we haven't even seen it before. So like I don't know. I don't know.
And it really has earned its status as being one of my favorite games ever made. Right? Like the technical depth is incredible, the enemy design is impeccable, like the level design is great, the replayability is amazing, like the medal system, like all the weapons you can use. Like it all just blends together to create like this incredible experience that really, really hasn't been matched. You know, Bayonetta 2 was a major disappointment, and 3 was fantastic for what it was, right? Like I loved 3. I love Lost Demon, but like I do think in a lot of ways it's not really going to be possible to top the original because the original really raised the bar for what a video game is capable of when it comes to like action, when it comes to like just combat, when it comes to just the kind of structure, the kind of game Bayonetta is. Like it just excels at what it's trying to do.
I've heard that. I mean, I don't know. I hear good things about the Bayonetta series, but you want to know a game that I hear, like that kind of like hack and slash game kind of gameplay that really raised the bar for what a good hack and slash game could be is, I don't know, fucking Devil May Cry. Isn't it similar? I don't know. I've never played Bayonetta, so guys, can you tell me if Bayonetta is similar to Devil May Cry in any way? Because whenever I've seen. Oh, hey, what's up?
Bayonetta. Let me guess.
Yeah,
Bayonetta
we're on Bayonetta.
Yeah, I was Devil May Cry like Bayonetta.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are they similar at all? Because I've never played Bayonetta, so I have no idea.
I have no idea. I have never played either.
Okay. He said, "Bruh, it's so funny. People say the other way around. Bayonetta's second is being the best and the third the weakest." He says that the first one is actually the best. So, and he said the second one was the weakest. And he said that Bayonetta excels for what the kind of game it is, and it raised the bar for what an action game could be.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Devil May Cry, it doesn't exist.
I was gonna say for the kind of hack and slash game that Bayonetta is, didn't Devil May Cry do it first?
Yeah, I think Devil May Cry did do it first.
Let me see what year they came out. Devil May Cry 1. When did that come out? 2001.
And also, he's only saying that 3 is better than 2 is because it's Nintendo exclusive, probably.
Yeah, probably. Bayonetta came out in 2009, so I think Devil May Cry definitely did it first.
Now, if it's better, that's debatable. I mean, I've never played either of them, but like that's debatable. But saying that, Bayonetta is the one that redefined the action genre is a lie, or disingenuous, really.
Yeah. He also said that Bayonetta was good because it has let's see, what was it? It has good weapons, good replayability, good level design, etc. Not really elaborating on why it's good, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, it's just good because
I said so. Yeah.
Why is the level design good?
Yeah, exactly. Why is level design good?
Harman? How is it? Okay. Yeah. Why are the guns good? How is it replayable? Or
what makes it replayable?
Yeah.
Like, why are the weapons?
Is there a new game plus? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because with an RPG, right, you could just say it has great replay value because it's an RPG. You can do whatever, right? But like with a action linear game like that, you're gonna have to be like, why is it replayable?
Yeah. It's got to have some sort of interesting ingrading system that makes it replayable. Like just really fun gameplay could be a factor. I think that's why games like Doom Eternal or Ultra Kill have good replayability, is because the gameplay is just so much fun.
Yeah, and there's different there's probably different scenarios, or not different scenarios, but different ways you could take out your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Doom has the secret weapons and secret stuff you can get.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming replay. Oh, I didn't know there was a secret weapon there. Okay, I'm gonna replay it and get that secret weapon. Or 100% it or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, stuff like that.
And another good example is why the Souls games have good replayability is because New Game Plus, you can try out different builds, something that's out of your typical wheelhouse. You can try out different weapons or spells or whatever, and then just go ham on the bosses. It's just super fun to do that.
I need to get Dark Souls.
You really need
Oh
to,
my god,
dude. It's so much
I
fun.
do. It's just like it's just like I don't know. I don't want to like fully commit because I don't know because like I want to wait till it's on sale, but it's like on sale for like the lowest I've seen it go is like $30-$40. I'm like that's too much for something I may not even like. So
Yeah,
that's why I'm waiting for it to go on sale for lower, like
right.
$20. If it goes on sale for $20, I'll get it.
Gotcha. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure Ninja Gaiden was like the major hack and slash game. Was that the one that like really
Yeah.
like defined like or like set the bar high for hack and slash? I mean, for like
I-
3D, what
probably.
I guess like for like 2D titles, like on like the NES or whatever. But like for these like
Yeah.
3D major titles like like the hack and slash stuff that was popular in the 2000s, I think Devil May Cry was probably the one that set the bar for it.
Yeah, probably.
My initial answer was gonna be God of War, but I'm pretty sure that was after Devil May Cry. So
Yeah, I was. I think.
yeah. To be fair, Devil May Cry games are a roller coaster in quality. I tend to believe that, honestly. I heard Devil May Cry 5 was really good though. I haven't played it though, so I don't know.
Yeah, same. Well, I haven't really played Devil May Cry at all.
I haven't played either, so I can't judge fairly, but like I'm just saying, I think Devil May Cry may have done it first.
I would assume.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess it doesn't exist to this man, but yeah, I would
Yeah.
assume. I would assume.
Well, let's say
Coming up
something
with a
like
unique character.
Devil May Cry is inferior or something.
Yeah,
I'll probably
Even-
say something like that if he hasn't already.
even God of War. Did God of War? I mean, well, like, see, the first Bayonetta came out in 2009. When did the first God of War come out?
It came
Or
out.
same year,
during,
2009.
Yeah.
Well, see, this is the God of War collection. Well, this is the God of War collection. No, the first one was in 2005.
Yeah, it
2005.
came out like during the 6th generation.
Yeah,
from what I
so
remember, and I was like, yeah, 2005 was a W year.
yeah.
Because
So
that's when I
still,
was
that was
born.
even before Bayonetta.
Yeah. So you already had Ninja Gaiden, Devil May Cry, and God of War before Bayonetta.
Yeah. So
You know that game? Well, it's like it's an EA game. It's also a hack and slash game.
not really.
I forget when it came out. I know it came out, and it came out the same year as Bayonetta.
It came out in 2009.
It was fine. I mean, I didn't play a lot of it, but
I was gonna say I never really
2000
played
what?
it. I don't know. You said it came out in 2009. I can't fucking type. It's all.
yeah, Dante's Inferno is a niche.
It's also like
Yeah.
being really slow.
Yeah,
Doesn't
Dante's Inferno is a niche game.
Gotcha. Video game. Please load faster.
Yeah, but yeah, Dante's Inferno is a niche hack and slash God of War game.
I gotcha.
It's more like God of War because you take out because in the first level you have a boss fight and you kill the Angel
Okay.
of Death.
Gotcha. This is a year. This is a year after Bayonetta. This was 2010.
Yeah, it was very close from what I remember. So,
I gotcha.
But
Okay,
yeah,
so
like-
this.
and it's actually really good. From what
Okay,
I
so-
played, but
Okay, yeah. So point being, there are other games that came way before it that set the bar higher. That's the whole point.
At what it's trying to do.
yeah, and then
You
games
know,
that came
coming
after
up with a
it.
unique character, with a unique conflict, with
Yeah,
with,
but of course
incredibly
he's
creative
because
combat
again,
system.
like I said, my biggest critique about him and about this list isn't necessarily the games on here or what he's saying, but the biggest critique I think is because his view is so narrow, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why there's tons and tons of games that could have been on this list, but he doesn't put them on here either because they're not on Nintendo or he just doesn't, he doesn't.
Or
give
he
them the
doesn't
time of
like-
day or
He doesn't like
Or-
them for any specific stupid fucking reason. Is what it is.
yeah, exactly. I think all the Devil May Cry games are on Switch, so. But yeah, whatever.
I mean,
Except
yeah.
5, of course.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. We're almost through. Let's try and finish it.
coming up with a
power
unique
through the air.
character, with a unique conflict,
Unique
with,
character, unique conflict.
with like an incredibly
creative combat system.
That's incredibly versatile.
Yeah, very
endlessly
innovative, very
entertaining.
creative.
Incredibly versatile.
Uh-huh.
What make? I mean, I've never played the game.
You haven't said anything that's like, yeah, but you
I don't
could,
know what
like,
makes it
we could probably say the
versatile.
same thing about Devil May Cry or God of War.
You definitely could. I don't know what makes it incredibly versatile though. Like what makes
does that mean? Again, here
I was
we go.
gonna say,
The whole not
elaborating
like compare
thing.
it to God of War. Yeah, elaborate. Compare it to like I don't know God of War and be like, well, God of War, blah 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 blah, but Bayonetta does it, blah 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 blah, or
Yeah.
just say what's so versatile about it. You don't even have
Yeah.
to compare it to anything.
Like I mean,
But
it's
no,
a hack and slash game, so like
Yeah.
just bring up the combo chains or something.
Yeah.
Like just do
But
something
saying,
like
oh,
that.
It's so versatile and not elaborating is
Exactly, like different play styles or something like that. Just elaborate. It's not hard.
I feel like he's assuming that we've all played these games.
He is. That's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, like I
Right.
like I have played a lot of the. So far, I've played every game he said except for like a handful,
Right.
and like he's not elaborating now.
Yeah, he's just
But
not. He's not.
like
He's not explaining what makes these
Yeah.
games good. He's just clear as day.
he's just
not.
like he says it right, but he expects us to know what he means.
Yeah.
He says like, "Oh, it's innovative." Well, how is it innovative?
Yeah.
Doesn't elaborate.
It's starting to sound like a fucking broken record.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that's how you can describe a lot of his ranking lists or whatever. He says something and then doesn't elaborate. Why is this game bad or why is this game good? Elaborate. No, you're just saying it's bad because this thing, or it's good because this thing, and doesn't elaborate. He's like that Giga Chad meme, except like the opposite, of course.
Yeah.
It's like, but like you can't. Unlike the Giga Chad meme, you can't just go into a review and then not elaborate.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's get through it.
What game are we on again?
Bayonetta.
Or what level? I mean, like, are we on number 3? Number
I think
2?
yeah, I think this is number. Well, no, Metroid was number 5, right? Yeah, this is number 3. We're almost there.
Okay, we're almost there.
We're almost there. Come on.
That's incredibly.
Okay, what do you think number 1's gonna be? I think Ocarina of Time.
It's a Zelda game. I know it's gonna be a Zelda game.
Definitely
I just don't know which
game.
one. Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time, maybe.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's what you're thinking.
That's my bet.
I'm thinking it's either gonna be Breath of the Wild or Ocarina of Time, probably. Breath of the Wild has to be in here somewhere though, so I'm just waiting to see it. All right.
When you look at what this game
Mario game though.
Not a single Mario game in this list, which is surprising.
I'm shocked.
Let's wait until we get to the other two though.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Mario 64
right. When you look at what this game managed to accomplish, how it managed to grow out of such a mediocre video game franchise like Devil May Cry.
Wait, he brought up Devil May Cry. Hold on.
Yeah.
When you look at what this game managed to accomplish, how it managed to grow out of such a mediocre video game franchise like Devil May Cry.
What did this fool just say though?
Hey, you see how it managed to grow from a mediocre game franchise like Devil May Cry? Okay, I will elaborate. I've never played Devil May Cry. But what makes it mediocre? You're not elaborating.
Yeah.
What makes it mediocre? Okay, let's hear him out. Maybe he will elaborate.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You actually look
if he doesn't, then I'll explain what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
At what the creators managed to accomplish here, you come away with this feeling that these were, at the time, the best developers in the industry. These were people who had the talent and the skill to put out games that no other creator would ever dare make. And I think the reality is that Bayonetta...
He's not elaborating! What the fuck? Okay. Okay,
So,
go ahead. Go ahead.
learned when I was doing okay. So when I was doing my review, my comparison / review, right?
Yeah.
What I learned is you got to. So if you're saying something is better than something else, you got to explain why that is better than that, right?
Yeah.
So for example, I said that the gunplay in Starfield felt better than, or felt more responsive and better than in Fallout 4. And I explained why. Because, well, the gunplay felt a little basic, felt like, kind of like a poor man's Call of Duty. And that's not, like, Starfield, I mean, it's not Call of Duty, right? I mean, it's not trying to be Call of Duty, but, like, still. But it's way better because everything felt like it had weight to it, right? So you got to compare and you got to explain why you think this is better than this. You have to give reasons. You can't just say,
exactly.
"Oh, it's better than Devil May Cry," and then just expect everyone to be like, "Oh yeah, I see that." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because not everyone has played Devil May Cry.
Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people like to bring up.
I'm not saying give a 1,000-page essay on why it is, but like.
Yeah, but just like elaborate a little bit.
Continue.
Like I was gonna say, I can give like a couple of an example of something that people bring up, like when people elaborate. When you want to elaborate on what makes X better than Y, it like say like Doom 2016. What separates Doom Eternal from Doom 2016? Weapon variety, enemy variety, level design, the weapon swap mechanic, the difficulty. Like it's just all around a different experience from Doom 2016. So like, you got to elaborate with stuff like that, you know.
Yeah,
and he's just not doing that.
See, that what you said was good for a list, right? If you made a whole video comparison, you would have to go in more detail. But for a top 10 list, like that's good, right?
Yeah, like that would be fine. That's fine. You don't have to elaborate. We're not asking you to write like a 10,000 word essay on why, but just like give at least like a 10-word response as like what makes it separates it and what makes it better from this.
Yeah,
that's the problem. He just doesn't elaborate.
You can say,
I bet he hasn't even watched a video about the series. He probably hasn't. Let's be real. He probably hasn't even touched the fucking series. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Like, he could at least say, like, oh, the combos felt better to finish in Bayonetta than in Devil May Cry. Or something. Exactly. Say something other than, like, it's better because I think it's lame.
Yeah, like, that's
like, it's a review.
Exactly.
We don't know anything about Bayonetta or Devil May Cry, so explain to us.
So like
why
for people like us, explain why we should play Bayonetta instead of Devil May Cry. Like
okay. But instead you just say, oh, it's mid.
Yeah,
and that's it, and you don't elaborate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see what else he has to say about Bayonetta. And again, I've heard good things about Bayonetta, so I want to hear from him what makes it so good.
Has established itself as a really controversial video game IP. Like every time I see the series in the news, there's some controversy.
Hold on.
I don't mean to pause.
Give me a sec. I'll be back.
Okay.
Hold on. I'll be back.
Okay. Go ahead. I know that Webbs might have something to say about this, so I'll go ahead and give my piece first. I don't know anything that's controversial about Bayonetta. All I know is that there was some controversy surrounding the voice actor for Bayonetta 3 or something like that before the game even came out. I don't remember what the drama was because I don't care about Bayonetta 3, so I just don't remember anything about it. But I remember some controversy surrounding her. If you guys want to give me like a SparkNotes version of it in chat, you can. But I don't remember. That's the only controversy I've heard about Bayonetta, though, so I don't really know anything about it. This video feels like some sort of drug trip every time. Every entry feels the same because he doesn't explain any of it and yet says stuff like Devil May Cry being mid and give you whiplash. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, he will say, like, this is good for reasons X, Y, and Z, has good level design, has good weapons, has a good versatile combat system. But, like, he's not elaborating on why any of that stuff is good. He's just saying, oh, it's good, and then never elaborates. Raised shoulders. Oh, wait, of course he prefers Bayonetta. Yeah, of course he does. Oh, yeah, probably. You know he's probably a simp. He has to be a simp. Oh my god. Okay, I think yeah, I might just wait for Webbs to get back so that he can give his piece on like Bayonetta controversy. I just if he knows anything about it anyway. Oh yeah, she lied about how much she got paid. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, she lied about how much she got paid, and yeah, I didn't care about that, honestly. Like whatever. Uh, that's the only controversy around Bayonetta I've heard about, though, so I don't really know anything else about the series or like any quote unquote controversy that may have surrounded the series. I don't know. I don't care. Hopefully, if Webbs knows any, he can provide some more insight. Because I don't know what controversy there could be for the game. Okay, maybe I can continue a little bit before he gets back.
You know, when this game came out, it was like too sexualized, and then when 2 came out, it was like the Nintendo exclusive thing, and then 3 came out, and then you had the backlash towards the ending and the voice actor thing. Like, there's like a bazillion kinds of controversies attached to this IP. It's kind of crazy to think about, and those controversies, unfortunately, have kind of led to this mindset in the community that this series isn't anything special, but in reality, it really is one of my all-time favorites.
Okay, hold on. Well, no, let me
I
let that
love
play.
everything about the games. I adore them. I think they're incredibly well-made titles. I think back on them, especially the original, extremely fondly. And they're titles that just really, I think, speak volumes about the superiority of Japanese game development. Because this is a title that never would have came out of the West, right? This is a title that really revels in just being something unique and different and distinct, and like really emphasizing on like the fun of the character and the design, and it's just something that would never have been made from any other studio, or come from any other country. It's just, it really,
Right.
this is, I think, like evidence at studio that
I don't know about that, dude. Like, you did you say at that time point? Let me go back for that.
or how much further ahead like a small Japanese studio like Platinum Games is compared to the rest of the industry. This is a studio.
I don't know. The only other controversy, if you can even call it that, is weirdos on Twitter complaining that she got with a guy in the end of 3 or something. Okay, yeah, that doesn't really matter much. That doesn't really matter much at all. Let's see. He said something about the first game. There was controversy surrounding it being too sexualized or whatever. Like, weren't there sex scenes in games prior to when this game even came out? Like, there probably were, to be